Okay. So here we have the lovely and beautiful Katy Bentz. I'm really excited to have you on. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on. I was so stoked about it. No,
Yeah.
I saw your post about it and you asked me and I was like, yeah, let's go. I'm ready.
Yeah, I know. I was like thinking through trying to plan because I did kind of an informal run just to kind of get a feel for it with my best friend Maddie last week, but she doesn't do streaming, so it's one of those like she was just kind of hanging out and
like the piano player, right?
Yes,
the
yes.
singer. Okay, she's super talented.
Oh my god, she's amazing. I keep trying to get her to start streaming music, but she's a little, I think, overwhelmed by the barrier to entry sometimes because all the tech you need. And but yeah, no, when I was trying to think through guests and stuff, I was like, I would absolutely love to have you on as a first like official streamer guest because I feel like you have a lot of cool perspective, and I just wanted to get to know you better as well. So I'm excited.
Me too. Thank you.
I guess starting, just kind of like easing into the questions and everything. Just starting with basic like streaming questions. So like, you know, how long have you been streaming and when did you start? What kind of brought you to it? And yeah, I guess starting there.
Yeah. So I started streaming about 3.5 years ago, and it was after voicing Steph Gingrich in Life is Strange Before the Storm. I was invited on to a friend's stream to play the game. After they found out that I was in the game, I had never heard about Twitch before. I really didn't game prior to that, besides like Spyro and Crash when I was younger. And so I had no idea what Twitch was. I didn't know anything about this world, and hopped on his stream, did that, and eventually started my own channel. And I started streaming from my kitchen. It's like that, you know, that typical like, oh, this is how I started off. Like I started streaming like in a bathroom, you know. So yeah, so I started streaming in my kitchen, and then eventually was able to get a PlayStation, and then get the PC, and yeah. So
would you say it was an overwhelming process kind of getting into it, like because you hadn't known about it prior? Like that's kind of similar to how I started, was like I had no really prior knowledge. So when you jumped into it, how was that adjustment process?
Oh, it was crazy. It was such a weird world. Like just the fact that like you could hop on, you know, camera, and then there's just these people in a chat box just talking to you. I don't know if you've ever heard of Blog TV, but it's like a really old, it's kind of like Twitch. It's its own kind of streaming platform. But when I was 16, I was like super into YouTube, and I found Blog TV, and I was on there for a little bit. I mean, I had like, I don't know, maybe I streamed to like 7 or 8 people. So like I kind of had an idea of like what it was about, but this is just like a huge scale, and it comes with gaming. And so it was just a total different ball game. And so since starting, I've tried to figure out, you know, like what kind of games do I like? And I have a good grasp on that now, but when I first started, I had no idea. So I tried a bunch of different things, and a lot of that resulted in unfinished games that I still have never beat Horizon Zero Dawn. Because I just was not capable of playing and streaming at the same time. It's hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely super overwhelming.
Do you find that like with playing games sometimes, do you feel that sometimes it's harder to commit to sitting and playing a game, like a storyline game like that, maybe outside of stream, just because you're like, should I be doing this on stream? Like, should this be content that I should be, you know?
Yeah. I don't play any story games off stream. Nothing. I recently got a Switch gifted from two of my best friends for Christmas, and they gave me Breath of the Wild, and I'm like, should I play this on stream? Like, or should I actually should I play this for myself? Like, I've never done that. The only game that I will play off stream for myself is League of Legends, because no one wants to watch me play that. Speaking of which, you need to play League of Legends with me again. That's all.
After the Olympics, I uninstalled it because I was like, I'm raging too much right now.
No, that's right. That was pretty rage. There was some rage inducing.
I tried to stay calm as much as possible, but
like actually, you were really good. You're really good at League. I'm gonna continue to keep telling you that. Like, you're a natural when it comes to League. So I
might try to get back into it. My brother got me into World of Warcraft recently.
Yeah,
so
I saw that.
Yeah, I know. That's one I never expected, because I had no idea what it was. I just remember he used to play in high school, and I didn't know. And then I just tried it, and I was like, okay, it's kind of fun.
Do you
it's kind of
like it? Like, it's fun?
It's fun because it's like you have a bunch of quests to do, so you kind of like, it's like little tasks that you can do, and so like that I don't mind. It's also kind of like I don't know, it's like cleaning to, that's a weird comparison to make, but it's like cleaning to me because it's like a bunch of little tasks and it's satisfying once you finish it.
Yeah,
it's really
like
easy.
Yeah,
yeah, and it's so
like,
easy to get sucked into it because usually one thing leads to another thing to another thing, and so you're like, I'll just finish this, or oh, I'll just finish this. Oh, Shadow, thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. But yeah, it's a little bit grindy, but I actually am surprised by how much I've enjoyed it.
Wait, have you played it on stream? Or
yeah,
not on
so
stream?
I set up my schedule. So typically Wednesday, because I do D&D with, you know, Chrisio and them earlier. Then after that, I do some World of Warcraft on my channel, just because it's like it's similar to D&D in ways. So I figured I kind of keep that Wednesday as like that kind of day.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome. But yeah, so yeah, League is the only thing that I'll play really off stream, but no story games. It's weird because like I've definitely, you know, been done streaming one day, you know, playing a story driven game, like especially like Tony Hawk. I know it's a little bit different. There's not really a story there, but you know, yeah. Anyways, so I will be done playing the game, playing and streaming, and then I'll just stare at it and I'll be like, I really want to keep playing, but I know if I do, they'll get so mad at me, so I can't.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I've had those moments so much because you're like you get into it and you end the stream and you're like, oh, I want to keep going, but I know that I need to hold on to it for everybody to see, you know, when I do it.
Like they'd be like, could you imagine you come back and they're like an hour ahead? They know too. They'd
oh
be
yeah.
Like,
I was gonna say, and I feel like one of chat's favorite things to do is to give you shit for it. Like, no matter what choice you make, they have something to say.
Oh, always about anything. Don't you just love our troll community? It's so fun.
I was gonna say, playing Until Dawn is the bane of my existence. One, because it's jump scares, but two, I'll make a decision and like someone will die and they're like, great job, you killed this person, and so I've just leaned into it now. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, people are gonna die. It's a scary game.
Have you played Detroit Become Human?
Yes, I played that a few months ago. It stressed me out so much. Like split-second decisions, I hate it.
Dragged because I accidentally killed everybody in the game, and I'm not saying it as like I meant to. Like I accidentally. It was completely accident. The only person that didn't die was Alice's dad. I'm telling you, I don't.
Oh
I know,
my god.
I'm telling you, it's not like I meant to do. I swear, this is not a bit right now. Like I truthfully was trying to play the game, and yeah, it just didn't work out very well. And so I get crap for that all the time.
I got Luther killed, and no one's ever let it go, because I was so upset in the moment, because like I get way too emotionally attached to the characters too, so I was like borderline crying because I was like, I didn't mean to, I didn't know, like I didn't know that not doing this would cause this to happen. And so it's one of those like, people in my Discord will change their name to like Aya killed me and make their profile picture the character that died, and I'm like,
that's next level. Oh my gosh.
And they'll do it every so often too, just to remind me that it happened.
Just to remind you how much you suck. Yeah,
I know. There are certain times that like, and it's usually like one of my mods will tease me the most about, especially Until Dawn. So at one point I was like, I'm banning you for 5 minutes so I can play this game without you.
Stop.
Yeah. Actually, kind of on the topic of games and stuff, do you have a favorite game to do on stream?
Like just any kind of game?
Yeah, like if you had to pick any game to stream, what would you pick?
I would say like favorite game. Everything I've played has been on stream, but I would say my favorite games are probably horror games. Just because it's fun for me and it's fun for the chat. I love Outlast. I know you don't, but I love Outlast.
I finished it and the DLC though. Dom hasn't finished it. He won't.
Played the DLC?
I did. It was actually, the story was good. Like that's one of those, if it's a scary game with a good story. Oh my god, yeah.
Dude, that was probably the nastiest thing I've ever played on. Like that was it. I was like, what am I playing? I had to turn away. I couldn't watch it.
Oh yeah.
I was like, this is ridiculous.
That's one of those I stall a lot where I'll like go to like I'll click escape and like sit it in that screen for a second and be like, let's just talk about what happened. But it's really just me being like, I don't want to play right now.
Dude, I always do that. But like the Outlast, like the storyline in Outlast 2 is actually really good. I actually really like that. And I like the Resident Evil games. I don't know, I just like playing that stuff. I get pretty invested. I get like, you know, I can get pretty upset and ragey and stuff. I'm playing BioShock right now, and I want to smack my head against a wall. I don't know about it, man. Everyone's like, it's so good, and like, you know, I can see it, but I am just, oh my gosh, I don't know. Like, I have to really enjoy like the game to like, I don't know. And you know, for me at least, I know that chat can feel that I'm not enjoying it, and so like I feel like they're not enjoying the stream because I'm not enjoying the game, and so I'm just like, I just want to get it over with so I can find a game that we both like together.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like what it's about, you know. You want to make sure you're picking a game and playing a game that chat is also going to like, you know. Even though I love League of Legends, I know that they don't want to watch me play that, which is totally fine. Like I get it, but yeah, it's just like you want to find that happy medium. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it can be a hard balance to find, because it's like you find a game that you're like so excited about to play, and then you go on and play it, and people just don't, you know, it's just not what they, I guess, wanted from the stream. And it's like, I feel like it's a sad moment too, because you're like, oh, I love this so much and I want to share it with you, but it's also like, I want to make sure that, you know, as people who are investing time and, you know, like subscribing and stuff, like I want to give them the content that they want.
Exactly.
So.
And yeah, one part of me is like, I don't think they want to see me getting so frustrated and ragey at BioShock. Just like, I don't think they want to see this, you know. I am playing Sims 100 Baby Challenge right now. And
I saw that. How was that going?
26 babies. I had triplets the other day.
Oh my gosh. So what's like, is it just the goal to have 100 babies?
Yeah. You will, like, okay, so like the typical, like, you know, to the books, like, challenge is to have one mother and to have different baby daddies and to have 100 babies. But I don't got time for that, okay? So I have multiple baby daddies, and then I also have 2 of my daughters who also started to help me with the baby making.
You recruited them, you know, into the challenge.
I recruited them. They wanted to be a part of it. It's fine. It's okay. So yeah, I just had triplets, have 26 babies. So yeah.
Dang.
We're going. It's fun.
How long have you
exciting.
Been working on it?
Honestly, I think it's been like 30 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Because I just got Sims 4 and then I started doing the baby challenge. So
gotcha.
I think last I looked, it was like 27 hours or something.
That's insane.
But yeah, like I can't tell you how exciting it is though to like have them woohoo and then have her go check to see if she's pregnant, and then she's pregnant, and it's just like I get so excited. I cannot wait, to have 100 babies, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do.
That's insane. I know. It's like, how do you take care of all of them on top of that?
Well, okay, so I have like a whole system. I made like a neighborhood. I have like a whole cul-de-sac, and I made these like really cute like townhouse apartments, and then I like duplicated them and put them on like a bunch of different lots. And so you can't have more than 8 Sims in a house. So once the babies are born, I age them up immediately and then move them out. So.
Oh, okay. You know, I was gonna say, because I was gonna say, like, do you have to keep all the babies alive at the same time? Because if they were all babies.
Yeah. Well, I call it, it's 100 baby challenge, but all of them are adults basically, and they just all like live in houses together. And,
okay.
And so it's just business, you know.
yeah, strictly business.
But yeah, so that's what's cool about being a variety streamer is like, you know, you can just do tons of different kinds of things, and it's fun. It's fun to switch it up. So,
yeah. Do you have a like current favorite stream memory from, I guess, either any kind of thing you've done, like whether it be like a game or an event that you've done? Anything that sticks out to you?
Yeah, definitely. I did a charity stream back in actually like a year ago this February, and it was so awesome. It was like my first big charity stream that I did for an organization. It was for Best Friends Animal Society, and which I don't know if you've heard of, but it's out in Mission Hills, and it's just an awesome organization. And I worked with my friend Jared to produce it, and we did it at like the studio and had a bunch of other streamers come on. It was just like really awesome.
That's so cool.
And it was just I felt like really professional.
Yeah.
And and we raised I don't know, I think it was like 3,000.
Oh damn.
3,000. So yeah, like it was cool. It was a fun time, and yeah, so that was a good memory. That was a really good memory. It's nice to be able to like use your channel to do, you know, something good. Something more than just like sitting and, you know, screaming at a computer.
Yeah. I feel like also switching it up every so often is kind of nice, especially I'm sure like change of scenery. I mean, that's probably pre-pandemic anyway.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was honestly like the last thing that I did. Those are like some of the last like streamer friends that I saw, because that was in February. Yeah, it's crazy. No, I miss IRL stuff so much. I miss it so freaking much. Like, I was thinking about it the other day. I was driving, and I was like, you know, I could just like walk around in my mask, and I was like, no, I'd be too freaked out.
Oh yeah, I feel like it's also one of those, and like I think about like if I'm walking around like with my mask on trying to stream, like if you can't hear me through my mask, you can't read my lips to see what I'm saying, and yeah,
just a mess. I didn't even think about that. You're right, I didn't even think about that. because most of the time people like, you know, can't even hear you. Like I've gone on like a handful of social distanced walks and like you can't even hear each other talk.
Oh yeah, it's like you have to like yell. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think chat would be able to hear anything.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. I saw your video of your grocery store dance videos. They're the best. I hope they continue.
It's one of those that like if the music is playing, I just kind of start dancing and I don't really think about it. And that was what was it, like 1,000 miles? Like that one, of course I'm gonna dance to, but I didn't realize at the time that there was the guy who was like
so funny,
swerved.
Dude. I just love it. And then you can just like hear Dom chuckle and then just cuts off. He couldn't handle it.
Oh my god.
It's like, I'm not going through this one.
Oh yeah. I know. I was like, I probably shouldn't have been flailing and kicking in a line with a bunch of glass bottles of alcohol, but I didn't break anything, so we're good. We're chilling.
You're fine. You're fine. Yes, I hope to see more of those, though.
Oh yeah, it's how I force people to social distance. I'm like, you don't want to get near me.
You don't want to get near me. Yeah, I'm crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's my additional safety precaution mid-pandemic.
Man, dude, it's crazy. It's so crazy. I literally like, yeah, I can't believe it's already been almost a year of all this stuff.
That's insane. Like, I just remember because I was doing a play at college because it was the end of senior year. We finished it right when everything started. So it's basically like we finished that and then everything went online, and it's just kind of, I feel like
you had to finish you didn't graduate in person.
No, because they keep postponing it. Like it's gonna happen. And at this point I'm like, you know, I'm over it. Like I graduated. I don't want to go back and like into that.
They still like have it like
they think they're gonna have it. Yeah, they keep thinking that they're gonna do an in-person commencement and stuff, and I'm like, it's not gonna happen. And most of us have moved away. You know, like we've kind of.
I don't want to like walk in 2 years.
Yeah,
like,
I know. Okay. Like I don't. I've got my like cap and gown somewhere. I think it's in Texas with my parents, honestly. But I am like, I don't need to put it on. You know, I took graduation photos in a duck hat. That's all I needed. Like on the plus side, I could get really like graduation photos with no one in them because no one was on campus. So that was good.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, because like you said, a lot of people probably don't live around here anyways.
Yeah, I was in a house out there. My like lease was up in May, so I was out there anyway because you know the lease wasn't up yet. So I was by myself in that house because both my roommates went home because one of them was from India, so she went all the way home, hasn't been back to the States since. And then my other friend went home to Arizona, so it was just Maui and I hanging out in the house.
That was the house that you lived in before you moved.
Yes, that's where I first joined. Like when I was doing Mishmash and stuff, that's the room that I was, which was good because I could scream and stream without anyone else being bothered by my sound. But
do you have an issue with where you live now, like being quiet, having to be quiet?
No, I get worried though. I haven't heard too much sound nearby except for next door. There's a kid that screams occasionally. It's super fun.
So then you can just also scream and not feel bad because he's screaming.
Oh yeah, I know. There are certain days. I was filming an audition tape actually one day, and it was a really like intense, emotional scene too. And I start to talk. I like start to record and I start to talk, and he just decides he's gonna scream for about 30 minutes. So I just sit down on the couch and just like try to breathe and not be just. Because I'm like
freak out.
Because I can't do anything about it at that point. It's a kid, you know. Like I can't make him stop.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I wonder if they also think there's a kid that lives next door to them too, because you like scream and do
I was gonna say
things.
Between me and then Dom closet screaming. He didn't realize how well he could be heard from the closet upstairs to down here until I showed him some clips from my stream where you just hear him shriek, and it's usually me just being like, what the hell? Like what happened?
Where you just like look up and you're just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
He was like, I didn't realize I was that loud, and I was like, yeah.
Good. There you go.
Oh my god.
You just like put like soundproofs all over your closet.
Oh
like,
yeah.
get those, like,
I know. I'll turn it into a small studio.
Yeah. You don't need clothes. It's fine.
No. I can put them in a container somewhere.
That's his closet now.
Yeah. Exactly. I have like a little small table thing and a folding chair that he set up in there, and it looks good. It looks like whenever I see it on D&D, like it looks nice, you know. All your clothes are beautiful. I've got it all lined up according to like sleeve length and everything, and I have my
it looks
like
he's planned it out.
Oh yeah, it's all it's like the Zoom virtual background. He chose it.
That's like Exactly. He's like, this is what it's supposed
This
to
is
be.
the aesthetic that he's cultivated.
Yeah, it's much better than like what he used to have, anyways. So, yeah.
Yeah. Does he even have an apartment? I don't know. It doesn't exist because I don't see it. Oh my god. I know. He has he got some like nano leaves and stuff, and I'm like, when are you gonna set that up? Because you know, you got to go back to.
Set it up in your closet?
Well, no, because he'll have to go back. Honestly, I need to get.
For his,
yeah,
he like got it for his actual one back home.
I know. I was like,
you meant like he's starting to get.
Oh yeah, no, that would be honestly. We'll set up the closet with some LEDs and just he'll have the whole deal. A real streamer boy. I guess one of the other questions that I have, streaming related, is what would you say is the hardest part about, if you had to pick one of the hardest, most difficult or challenging parts about streaming, what would that be for you?
Not burning out.
Like, you stream a decent amount, right? Like twice a day sometimes.
Well, it's like I feel like I don't have anything else to do, so it's like why just stream, right? And then it's just like I realize that like after like I turn off my camera and in the stream I'm just sitting here and I'm like all I want to do is just like fall asleep, But yeah, no, it's a real thing. Burnout is such a real thing, and I think it's just so easy, especially with the pandemic, to just keep going because a lot of us don't have anything to do, and yeah, it's just really, really hard to not get wrapped up in that. So I think just like sticking to a schedule, and sometimes I do a schedule every week, but even then I know that I'm overdoing it,
Yeah.
So making sure to give yourself breaks, and not feeling bad about it. Like I've taken like a couple of like 3-day breaks, and I feel bad and I feel like, oh, I'm letting people down, but that's not the case. And like you have to make sure that if you don't have a break and you're just gonna not perform well, because it's true, like it's it's a performance, like you're entertaining people, so you have to be in a good mood and ready. So that's definitely, I think, one of the hardest parts for me is making sure that I'm not burning myself out. But yeah, and I think that's just a continuous struggle.
Oh, absolutely. How would you say you're balancing, especially with the pandemic? Because I feel like balancing stream to life can be hard, not pandemic, but I feel like it's easier because you have places to go and stuff to do. You can go meet people, you can go to a restaurant, you can go do things, and like, so how would you say like you are or aren't balancing and managing that, especially given that you're stuck in the same place for so much?
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, like I'm very extremely cautious with the pandemic. Like I'm so cautious, and it's getting to a point where I'm like, I don't even know, like like I don't know what to do anymore, because I'm losing my mind. But yeah, like I'll go on like a couple walks a week, around my neighborhood. Sometimes I'll go out on a drive. I've seen like 3 different people the whole time, like one time each. Like I went on, like Trey was the first like streamer friend that I saw, and I went on a social distance walk with her, I think 2 months ago, and that was it. That's the only streamer person I've seen. And then other than that, it was like a friend of mine who I went on a bike ride with, I think like several months ago. So it's definitely like I don't know how to manage like that. But yeah, when the pandemic wasn't happening, like I'm a very social person, and I feel like being put around people, I get re-energized, and I'm ready to go again, recharged. But yeah, without that, it's difficult. So yeah, I do try my hardest though to get outside and do that, but especially too with it getting dark,
Oh yeah.
I'm waiting for summertime, because when it's summertime and I'm done streaming, okay, I can go on a walk, at like 8 o'clock or whatever. But with it getting dark at 5, because I'm not gonna walk around here dark. No, thank you. Dude, weird stuff happens in LA. It's a crazy place. But yeah, so it's hard. It's definitely hard, but I try to keep in good spirits, and yeah, I don't know. Also, like, I think that, a lot of people, when you look at Twitch streamers, because we do a good job of like, masking things and making sure that we're like, okay, and, we're here to entertain you. But I don't know, I think it's just a good reminder too, to like everybody that's watching right now, just like, we're just like you. Like we're like I like to let them know, like I'm, super lonely too. Like I'm depressed as well. Like, we're all in this together, and I'm just happy that I am able to come on to stream and help entertain you guys, and you guys help entertain me. But yeah, I don't know, we're, it's we're all in this together, so yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the most like, I feel like sometimes people forget, like, especially like being like an audience member in a stream, just because it's like you come onto a stream and people are like, yeah, like, let's go another day, like, let's do things, I'm so excited. And like, to some degree, like, yeah, like when you get out there, like, you're excited, but it's also like that elevated like performance side of your personality, which it's also hard if that's all you see, to know that there's other stuff, going on. And like, and I feel like it can be, and then I feel like sometimes as a streamer, at least, I don't know if you feel this way, but like I try to hold myself to that standard of like, if someone sees me, I need to be like that all the time, and that needs to be my reality, even if it's not.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, just in my 3 years of streaming on Twitch, like, like people in my community, like I've like broke down on stream before, like, once or twice in my 3 years, just because of something I was going through. And so, I mean, I've definitely been vulnerable at times, but I try to keep that. Yeah. Once the camera's on, like, hey guys, what's up? How you guys doing? Oh, da 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 da. And yeah, I mean, that's, yeah, it's what we're supposed to do, like nobody wants to come onto a stream and see somebody like upset and crying, what I mean? So it's like, but yeah, it's a good reminder too that, yeah, we are just, even though we're performing and entertaining you guys, like, yeah, we're just like you and we can relate to you. But yeah, I think too, just like having those conversations and not being afraid to have those conversations as a streamer is also really important too. And just to allow yourself to be vulnerable, because again, like at the end of the day, if you do start breaking down and crying because you're stressed or something's going on in your life, like your community is not going to shame you for it. They're probably going to feel more connected to you because they see a real person.
Yeah, I think it's also so important. And like, I think one of the other things that's telling about like the streamers, when you look at the community, like I feel like that's one of the biggest things, is like when you look at the person and the community that they've cultivated, like a space that is safe for that. And like, I feel like that's one of the best things as a streamer, to know that no matter what you're going through, your community like has your back, and like they respect you as a person, not as this like mythical entity of a human,
Yeah, it's crazy because I feel like there's always people that will think of you that way. You know what I mean? There's always people, there's people that literally still refer to me as Steph.
Really?
Which is my character from my game that I was in 3 years ago.
Is that weird?
And I'm just
is that weird?
Okay.
Like someone comes in the stream and they only refer to you as this. That's so strange.
Yeah, and I'm just like, cool, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
But it took a little bit. It took a little bit for people to like for people to separate, this character that I did and me as a person. And the majority of them, more than the majority of them now see me as Katy. But for the first year, like it was Steph. And I think like there's a ton of like voice actors who are now streaming on Twitch, and actors who are now streaming on Twitch. And I've had conversations with some friends where they are like, I can't get away from that. Like people are still referring to me as this character. And I'm like, that's just going to happen. Like, you were and this character was very important to these people, and they see you, and that's what they hear, that's what they see, and just it is what it is. I think it's funny. I'm just like, that's a character, I'm me, but okay. But I don't know, I just let it happen, because again, like it's an important character for them. So but so it's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic.
Oh, for sure. So you mentioned that you would fall in the category of variety streamer. So you kind of do a lot of different things. I've seen you do, like games and makeup and stuff. Is there anything that you've wanted to try doing, or something that you have been considering, but either are like too afraid to try or don't know where to start? Like, is there anything that you've been really wanting to do or venture into within streaming that maybe you haven't?
Well, I did not necessarily. I feel like I've tried a lot of things. That's what's really great about being a variety streamer, is that like if I'm interested in something, like the painting thing, like I was just like, I just want to do it, paint by numbers. I think that'll be fun, And it was exciting for me because I had never done paint by numbers, so I was able to explore that. And same with the makeup stuff. I don't know if there's really anything that I haven't necessarily done that I would want to do. Probably just like, honestly, just like more charity streams. I know that's like super like boring answer, but I like, there's streamers that'll do a charity stream every single month, and I think that's Yeah, they'll do it every single month for a different cause. I mean, Trey does tons of charity streams.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's really cool, like, you know, to have that event, and I just think having more like event style streams that chat can be excited for is something that is interesting. Also, like, hosting is super fun too. It's like, you like, this is so awesome that you're doing this, you know. I think podcasts are great, and it just like helps, you know, bring more people to your channel and helps introduce you to more people, and it's just a really great thing to do. So yeah, hosting is always a fun thing as well. But yeah, it's been fun being able to try different things on stream and on Twitch. I don't know, maybe I'll bring League of Legends back. I don't know, maybe. Maybe.
Actually, on the topic of like events and stuff, like I was gonna bring up to you at some point, like trying to do another kind of, the Mishmash talent show was so amazing and such a fun thing.
Yeah, that's on the back burner for sure. And I was actually looking at it today when I was making the D&D promo for them tonight. I was looking at your guys's the judge thing, and I was like, God damn, I need to do that again. I need to do it again. Yeah, if I do, I want you to be another host.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, hit me up, and if you need anyone to help, like, run or do computer things, I have minimal knowledge, but my computer can generally, like, it's been doing all right.
I've seen it do it. I've seen it do its thing. I've witnessed it. It's great.
So if you need any help with that, I'm trying to, you know, I want to try to do more event things as well. So it's the variety streamer thing, just trying anything.
Yeah, it's perfect. And well, Greg and Alicia were talking about how they've started doing like a community like talent night or something on Wednesdays, I think it is. Yeah, and I'm just like, I just think that's so cool, you know. I think it's just really cool to be able to have people come to, you know, an event and just share what they are doing, you know, whoever they are, whether it's a streamer or a viewer, and it just helps build the communities. That's what I like about like this, like, I don't know, we have such an interesting group of like streamer friends and communities that are all interlap, and it just blows my mind how it's all intertwined, and I absolutely love it so much. Like I think it was you, you posted the thing I think this morning about like Skylar, and I was like, yeah, he's cool, I like Skylar. Yeah, like, it's just like, I love that we all just like are supportive of one another. It's really awesome. It makes me really happy.
I was gonna say, one of the nice things about the friends that I feel like I've made on Twitch so far, and the streamer friends that I've made, is like, I don't feel like I have any, I guess, like toxic relationships. Like, I feel like my success is their success is my success. We're all working together to, you know, we want each other to succeed in everything and do well. And like, I feel like, especially now in a time that the social aspect of life seems so just like non-existent, you know, being stuck inside, finding supportive relationships like that is such a important thing. And so the fact that, you know, I can find it in any capacity, I feel like I'm closer to a lot of my stream friends than I've ever been with some like in-person like school friends and stuff. And it's just so wild, but also very comforting. Yeah,
I mean, we've been forced to literally, like, if you want to have a social interaction, like, everybody here is online. So like, and there's always somebody to go to, which is great, whether it's like our own community or people in other community streamers. It's just, it's nice. It's been nice too, and I agree with you like 100%. Like you probably see, like, I'm always hanging out in the Mishmash creator channel with like Calvin and Miles until like 5 a.m, just like doing nothing. We're like watching murder mystery, like, you know, like shit. Like, it's just, we're just hanging out, and it's just fun. And yeah, it'll be weird if and when, you know, everything goes back to normal and like people aren't online anymore.
I know. I keep thinking about like, what am I gonna do when people just aren't around online all the time, you know? Because I feel like I'll probably still be online until things start picking up, like until I can get like auditions to do, or, you know, find stuff to do. I feel like, especially being like actors, it's weird because when everybody goes back to like a normal career path, like, you know, normal career path of like going into work and stuff, we're still on that weird side road of like, it's not the same as anyone else, and we just kind of have to try to figure it out.
Well, yeah, that was something too. Like when the pandemic happened and everybody was like, "Oh, we're not working anymore," I was like, my life didn't really change, you know. Like, I've just, except for the social aspect of it, but like the work aspect, like I've been, you know, doing this. It's the same thing. But definitely, I haven't auditioned for anything, nothing. I'm too scared. Like, kudos to you. Like, I just, I don't know. I just look at it all and it just freaks me the heck out. So I'm just,
it's one of those
sometimes, I
like
miss it.
it's hard because especially with acting, it's like you have to have work to get work, like you have to have resume experience, and like to
Yeah.
get the smaller roles to build up your resume is going to be even harder to do right now with the pandemic. And I think the issue I found is because I was able to get a manager out of school, but I haven't been able to find an agent because no one wants to take on developmental clients because we're, you know, it's hard enough to get work for the clients that they already have. And so the only stuff that I've been submitted for is like typically like Asian specific, but they're like leads and things, but I don't have the experience for them to want to, because it comes down to like all the like grittiness of like, okay, what's on your resume? And I don't have anything like really professional besides commercials, and there's just so
I'm
many.
sorry if you can hear my heater. It's really loud. It
Oh,
just
no, you're
went on
fine.
and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so loud. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I feel okay. Hopefully it'll turn off soon.
It's okay. It's not that bad.
I what was I gonna say? Do you have you like, you have a nice camera, like besides your stream camera, right? You have like another like nice camera that you can like use and stuff. Just be like, hey Dom, you know, I need you to shoot some stuff for me. Like, I'm serious, because like really like it's not necessarily what you've been in like on paper, it's what's on your reel.
Yeah.
They just want to see what you look like on camera, and they want to see how you act on camera.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, and just at the level you're at now, like you're not going to be matched up against like these huge Oscar award winning, you know, people. You're gonna be matched up against people who are at the same level as you. And so it's as long as you can just get something on your reel, you know, that allows you to showcase that, I think that's important. So yeah, which is, you know, a lot of it's creating our own stuff right now anyways. So
yeah. I did sign up. I signed up to do groundlings classes because I haven't really learned much improv and stuff. So I'm going to do those. I mean, they're all online right now. So, but I couldn't get a class until next month, or I think it's March to April. Yeah. So like next month. I don't know
how the groundlings thing is happening on. I don't know how they do improv online.
It's so, and because you have to do an audition to get through to the basic course. And like, it's just like a really easy little audition thing just to make sure that like you have a general grasp. And like, I'd get up because they're like, all right, stand up because it's really physical. And I'd like get up and I'm like, okay, but with the lighting, you can't even really see what I'm doing. Like I'm like just a little shadow, you know, like I tried to set up my stuff as best I could, but you know, I'm like, I don't know how it's not, it's like, I want to do something. So it's more like, I feel like this is going to keep me from being a stir crazy. Yeah. But I wonder how much you miss and lose from being there in person, because I feel like especially with improv, it's so much playing off the energy of your scene partner.
100%. Yeah, 100%. I auditioned for groundlings and I got into the base class as well, but I don't know what happened. I didn't do it. It was just like a year went by and I just didn't do it, and I was like, oh, that sucks, I need to re-audition. But like it was cool, it was fun, like the audition aspect of it was fun, but yeah, I just can't imagine like how that's gonna work. I mean, sure, like you can like, I mean, you still have the voices and like we can see each other and stuff, but yeah, there's something about the physical aspect, especially with groundlings, because it's about, you know, groundlings is very much character based. Yeah. Outside of all the other different improv schools in LA, like, so it's very character based, and you know, having somebody else to go off of body wise is really important. So, but I think that's good that you're still doing it, you know, and hopefully if it's something that you're still super into, once the pandemic, you know, kind of tones down a bit, you can go and take classes in person. And already have that experience. Yeah,
I keep wondering how long is it gonna last, and like when are we gonna be able to like do anything semi-normally? But
I just like read an article on Twitter, or not an article, but it's like a headline, and it said something like, this is never gonna go away, it's gonna be something we're gonna have to live with, just like the measles and the flu and like all this stuff. And I'm just like, dang it, you know, we just have to get everybody vaccinated. There you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I'm like, I need to be able to do things. I think the hardest part about it right now is like pandemic fatigue. Like, you know, I double mask, like I try to wear face shields. If I go to the grocery store, it's like I try to put on gloves so that I'm, you know, as safe. I'm, you know, minimizing germ, you know, contact as much as possible. But it's like, it's so exhausting to do that every time I leave the house. And then some days I don't leave my apartment. And then that's a whole other issue mental health wise, because I'm like, I'm staring at the same walls for hours. Like I'm going insane.
Yeah. I feel you too. Like, and my mask, like, I don't know, I need to get a new mask. It's making my face itch. I'm just like, I'm over this. I hate it. And like, I'll go on bike rides too, and I'll wear my mask, and I'm like dying, and I can't breathe.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm not gonna take it off.
You can get the little plastic insert that you put.
I've seen those. Do you have it?
Yeah. So my mom actually sent me one, and it's so nice because it gives you a little bit more breathing room in your mask, so you can kind of breathe in that area, but it's still, you're still covered, but it's just not pressed up against your face as much. It actually helped a lot.
Yeah, I've been seeing them on like Instagram, like, you know, whatever, the little the Instagram things, ads, and I was like, that would be useful because I could breathe, and also like my makeup wouldn't get all over.
Oh yeah, the worst thing is like I'll put on chapstick and then put a mask on, and then it's just all over my face immediately.
Right. Yeah, and you've got like fuzzies attached to your face, and you're just like, gosh, dang it. Yeah.
I guess last couple of questions that are streaming specific.
Yeah.
What would you say is, if you had to pick a favorite thing about your community, what's a favorite thing that you have about your community?
They're just like extremely welcoming. Like, they're just honestly like, I feel like every streamer is extremely biased of their community, and but I don't know, I think they're extremely welcoming, and we always get people coming in saying, oh, I've never, you know, experienced being welcomed into a chat this quickly and felt so comfortable. And I'm like, thank you. Like, this, because it's not, you know, necessarily me doing that. It's the community that's doing that. It's the chat that's doing that. And that they just automatically do that is amazing. And it makes me feel really grateful to, you know, have, you know, built this community. And I feel like as you start building a community and it kind of gets like its track going, it just continues creating itself. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you still shape it, but like it keeps growing with the people that are in it. So yeah, I don't know. I've just been really grateful to have a really welcoming, kind and supportive community, not only for myself, but for the people in the community and the people that are coming in that are new. So it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've been into some chats before where I'll like say something and like no one responds, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here quietly and mind my business. I guess
it's so weird. Like, I've witnessed that. I've witnessed like mods not being like kind to like people coming in. It's just weird. Yeah, really weird stuff. And I'm like, what? I don't know. So, but yeah, the majority, like, again, and like this community that we have, you know what I mean? Like with all of the streamer communities intertwined, it's like everyone's so freaking amazing and so freaking kind, and it just really mixes and matches really well.
So. For sure. My last question that is streaming specific. What would you say your strong suit is in streaming? Like, what's the thing that you would say that you do really well?
What did I do really well? I think I just kind of roll with the punches well, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I just roll with it. Like, we have people coming in all the time. Like, I don't know. We have like troll people coming in. My mods are pretty good at like getting rid of it, but sometimes they just like stay in there, and I just roll with it. I just like make it, I don't know, fun. I just don't let things necessarily get me down like in chat very often. So I don't know. I just roll with the punches well, I guess. I don't know what I do well. I guess I'm just gonna go with that.
I feel like it's definitely an important skill on stream, given how much of it is unpredictable being a live stream. You know, you have to be able to react and roll with it.
Don't get me wrong, like, there's been times where I just like I can't anymore, and I'm just like, this is happening and let's go, you know. I just like can't. That's the thing with live streaming. And I'm a very I'm a very direct, like, you know, person, you know, and like like sometimes like I'm not thinking, you know, and I'll just go for it, and I'll like, oof, you know, I should have just taken it back a little bit. But that's the thing with live streaming. But luckily, yeah, I don't know, the community is understanding and supportive of that, and understands that like it's live, you know, so anything kind of happens. And so that's also really appreciative. I'm appreciative of them understanding that. So, because there's been times where I'll be like, oh my gosh, like I feel like it was really weird, or I feel like I, you know, acted really odd on stream today. I'm sorry about that, guys. And I'm like, no, Katie, you're fine. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, it's just like that thing. So definitely the insecurities of a streamer are,
oh my god,
real.
He'll get off stream one day and be like, that I don't know what I did. Like,
no, but that happens all the time, and I'm just like, oh god, yeah. So yeah, but I try to roll with the punches as best I can.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's trying is the best that you can do sometimes on stream, because it's like you don't you have no idea what's gonna happen. I think one of my favorite things that sarcastically that I've learned to just kind of roll with is like when people do bot raids. That's the bane of my.
I've never had that happen. Knocking on wood. I've never had that happen. I don't like.
I had it happen 3 times in one stream once, and like the thing that's annoying to me about that is like because it kind of like screws over your notifications. So like I had to turn off my alerts because the first time it happened, I clicked skip alert until I got through it, but they could do thousands at a time, so you have to sit there clicking continuously to get past it, or you just kind of have to shut off your alerts. And then I feel bad because it's like I want to give alerts to the people who are genuinely joining, but I mean there's a way to remove them now, which is, you know, thankfully there's a way to. I almost messed it up once though, and I did the reverse of what I was going to do, so I removed everyone before I almost removed everyone before the bot. I almost removed all of my followers, and I caught it before it got to anyone that wasn't a part of the bot raid. But that was a moment where my stomach dropped and I was like, oh my god, what have I done?
Like everything I've worked for.
Because I was about a year in at least.
Dang, that's crazy. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't get that stuff.
I think it's just to mess with the streamer, but I'm like, that's not even funny. Like it's not. I don't know.
No, it's not. And they just pick random people.
Exactly.
I'm sure it's just like, what's the point of it? I don't understand. I don't get it. Well, that's good. Just making sure. I remember when I was on one of Trey's live streams, and it happened to her. Like she got bot raided or whatever during the stream, and we're walking around. I guess this was like the second time it happened to her in like 2 weeks, and she's just like pretending like it's not happening because like that's what you got to do. You don't want to give them their satisfaction of like freaking out because that's what they want. So trying not to give in to that. Which is another thing too, is it's just like people come in, trolls and stuff, and they want to egg you on, they want to say things to make you upset so they can get a reaction, and then you don't give them that reaction, then they're just gonna go away. I was
gonna say the thing that bothers me more than anything is just how unoriginal people are, because I'm like, if you're gonna try to insult me and make me feel bad, at least do something original that no one else has done before, you know? Like it's the same stuff for me. Usually people are like, wait, you're a girl trying to make me feel less feminine or whatever, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, or they'll be like, you have a deep voice. Like, okay.
So many times people have come on and they've been like, are you a man? And I'm like, no, but okay. Like, I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, so I think hearing your story, I think most female streamers get that all the time, because they don't know how to be more creative than that. Like, I mean, maybe it's like, I
fluctuate between being bored by it, because I'm like, it's the same thing all the time, and then also being like, there's a part of me that just feels sad for them. I'm like, this is what you're doing in your free time. You're going from streamer to streamer trying to make someone cry. What pain do you have going on inside of you that hurts so bad that this is what you're doing?
There's been a couple of like trolls that have come into my chat that like, because I just don't give them what they want to hear, right? And there's a couple people that have just kind of kept coming back as like actual viewers, and now they're not trolls anymore, they're just viewers in my stream.
I've had that as well. It just depends on like, it's kind of like, it depends on the person, I think, because sometimes if they get the reaction they want, then they're like, okay, cool, you know, and then they go do their thing again. But I've had Pixie said reformed. I've had actually a lot of my mods started trolling me, like Nina literally just said that. But a lot of my mods troll me, and they started that way. I think Cowboy joined my stream because I titled it something about like will stream for Thai food, and like that's why he joined. And then he would always troll trolls, and that's how he became a mod, because he would just like mess with them. But a lot of people who came into my stream originally who have hung around, like they were like lightly trolling. It wasn't like racist or aggressive, but it was like, and then I just joked back with them, and they were like, oh, okay. So.
And that's what's created your community, though. Like, you guys are able to joke with each other and have fun with each other, and like it's people can come in here and feel comfortable just like messing around, and they don't have to feel like they're gonna get in trouble, kind of thing. It's like, I think that like that's something that people look for in communities as well, you know?
It's like finding a place that you know you can like, because one of the other things that I want to obviously make sure is a thing is like people feel safe, so you can like be yourself, you can express yourself, and there's like, you know, you set the hard line of like, if you're racist, if you're sexist, if you're you know, like needlessly addict to people, like there's no place for that. But like we will tease each other and we'll mess around, you know, and so it's like kind of cultivating a space where you can do a little bit of both, because I don't want I don't want people to feel like they can't say anything or they can't make jokes, but it's one of those, I also like balancing between that and like making sure that people can have honest discussions about themselves and how they feel and also feel safe.
Exactly. So. Yeah, it's definitely, especially like, you know, in the world we live in, you know, it's that line changes all the time, and you're having to change with it to make sure and ensure that it is a good place.
That's something that I think it was hard. I grew up in Texas and then I came to California, so like what's okay is very different between the two. I was talking on stream the other day about how I was like the token Asian friend in my friend group because everyone else is white pretty much, and like in my school, like people would make jokes and stuff that like I just kind of was like, oh, this is a thing, like my identity is about being Asian, and like we make jokes about it, and like that's just kind of what it is, and like I went with it. I wasn't upset by it. But then it's like I moved to California, and it's like the things that you joke about or you can joke about or that are okay are not at all the same. And then also kind of realizing like that probably wasn't okay the whole time, but I just didn't realize it.
Yeah, you didn't realize it. Like what happened to you like was not okay. Like
and like I didn't know anything else, and I just ran with it the best way that I knew how.
Yeah, I know. And I've had other friends like who've been in the same situation, similar situations, and they just deal with it, and they realize once they get out of it that like that's not okay.
Yeah, it's like that retroactive like, that was probably really bad.
Yeah, but it's nice to I think because I grew up in a very conservative place in Eastern Washington, and getting away from it and going to school near Seattle and then moving out to LA was just like, I'm so grateful, because honestly, like, oh my gosh, if I stayed there and didn't see anything else or experience anything else in the world, like, you don't know.
I think college was one of the most like pivotal experiences for me as a person, because it taught me how important it is to like seek out alternate points of view. And like that's another reason why I wanted to do a podcast, especially because I feel like right now we can choose what we watch and what we consume on internet media. Like that's you know, and we don't really get confronted with other points of view too much just because we can choose not to. And so like I wanted to also, you know, have a place where it's like discussion, like we can agree and we can disagree, but like also allowing people to express what they believe, why they believe, because like it's so easy to just be like, all right, I'm only going to listen to and look out for what I already believe and just continue to validate that. But I think it's important to challenge that and like always recognize that there's always opportunities for growth as a person. And so that's another reason why I'm excited too, because I'm like, I'm sure the people that I talk to and I associate with on Twitch and stuff, like we have similar views, but like it's always interesting to see where things are similar, where they're different, or like maybe we agree on something but for different reasons. And I
think that that's really valuable when you can find people and find those conversations, because it's hard to find those people and that are able to have those conversations with you and still like at the end of the day be like, okay, cool, we're cool, you know, and then like move on, because it's hard to find that. So I hope that you are able to find those people and bring them on here and have those conversations, because it's important, you know. And also too, it shows people, like it shows the viewers that, you know, it is possible to have these conversations, and so maybe it inspires them to just seek out and have those conversations with people in their life too, because it's important to talk about stuff and to have your mind open to other possibilities.
I think it's also become so easy to like, I have to take breaks from Twitter all the time because it's so aggressive and I get so anxious from watching people just like, you know, go in on each other just because you know they maybe differ in belief. And like my favorite moments on Twitter is like those little moments where someone will say something, someone will correct them, and I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I was wrong, you know, I apologize, you know. And it's like a genuinely good exchange between two people, and people can hold themselves accountable. And it's so rare, it's so rare. It's like that little gem that'll be scrolling through comments and I'm like, this is what I needed today. But like I think it's so important to also reinforce like good conversations can be had, you know, like people we can have civil disagreements and still be respectful and hear each other out. So
definitely. But streamer Twitter is something.
Oh my god, I have to purposefully make a choice to like step away for a second.
It's so interesting too, because like if we were like in any other industry, you know, we'd have a different Twitter. Like we would have a whole different Twitter feed. Like and it would be completely different. So it's just crazy because like literally all I follow are streamers. That's it. That's all I follow is streamers. So that's all I see. So yeah, definitely taking a break. But it's like, how can we take a break? Because we have to continue popping stuff out, pushing things out. And it's just like, how do we?
I didn't use Twitter really at all until I started streaming. Like
Same.
I didn't like, I had an account because, you know, I have my Aya and then my real name, and so I have an account. The last thing I posted on it, I think, was something about like, I forgot I had this account, and that was like a couple years ago. So yeah, I didn't understand it, and now like I do understand it, but I'm like, at what cost?
Exactly, right? Yeah. No, you just have to like, I don't know. I know a lot of people will like make like drafts and then like save them, and then like, you know, I don't know. I literally just use it to post like I'm going live. I'm really bad at it. There are some people who are like, they can just push out tweets and like get them go viral, and I'm just like,
I know. I'm like, I don't have the creativity for that. Like, there are people constantly pumping out like really funny shit that gets like, you know, a couple thousand likes, and I'm like, my cat slept the other day, like, that's it.
Hey, I like your posts, okay, and I like your posts with Maui, so
thank you.
Please keep posting. Thank you.
Oh, she's back.
I also like how Maui's just been like walking around this whole time.
Oh yeah, she just kind of
love it.
She does what she wants. She's back there hiding on the couch right up there. But
I know, she's so cute.
Yeah, she does her own thing.
You really need to get her a mad button, just so.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm gonna teach her how to use it, and I'll just in the middle of the night hear mad.
yeah. Or when she broke the glass, the mug.
Oh my gosh, it scared the shit out of me because I'm washing the dishes and I just hear a crash. I have no idea what happened, but I immediately turn and see, you know, the mugs on the floor, the teas everywhere, and I had broken, because Dom had given me that mug. He brought it. He gave it to me, and a few days earlier I broke one of the cat glasses that he got me. And so Maui did that, and the part that I didn't post on Twitter is like, after I just like sat down and cried because I was like, it's broken, and like Tom was like, it's fine, and he replaced it, and like, I have another one and it's okay. But I was just like, Maui, why?
And the video of Maui, because did Maui want Cheez-Its?
She wanted Cheerios. Yeah, and it's just so slow. It's just the buildup is so slow. She thinks she's being sneaky. Well, she was sneaky enough because I didn't notice, but she's like trying different ways to like paw at it and like open it. I should have known better. Oh, speaking of, hello. Here, come say hi. She knows you're talking about her. Look out, she's just the cutest. She's the best. She's just a little baby. It cracks me up because every time I take her to the vet to like get checked up, the vets are always like, she's such an angel, she's so sweet, and like most people people on stream know her as like, you know, she's a sweet cute baby, but she's sassy, you know, and she's a little you're like, butt tell sometimes. It to my mug. Yeah, exactly. She left a poop right outside the litter box yesterday, like right outside of it. That's just like a cat thing. That's just like I'm pissed and I'm gonna let you know I'm mad, so I'm gonna poop outside of the litter box. I know, and like I was like, you take one step and you're in the litter box, but no, she left it right outside for me. Oh yeah, there's something. Yeah, she wanted something. She was not getting something she wanted. She's like, I'm just letting you know that I need more attention. Right. Oh, yeah. Look at her. She's so cute. She'll let me hold her for a little bit and then decide she's over it. Yeah. Hey, you just have to count those. You have to count those. Oh yeah, it's like that moment when I did that one stream on Mishmash when I first moved, and she sat in my lap, and I was like, oh my gosh, like. But it's interesting because I feel like she, like, when I first started watching your streams, like, she wasn't as like cuddly with you, but she has become more cuddly with you over the last year. I think she's learned that I put my attention all here. It's like, it would happen when I was working on schoolwork. When I would be on my laptop on my bed or on my phone, she'll come sit on my arms or on the laptop just right in front of it, because she's like, she'll decide in that moment, I want attention, and you're giving her attention here. And so I think that she's kind of learned. Also, she's been conditioned to understand that if she's cute enough in this area and prominent enough, someone will redeem to give her treats. So I think it's also a ploy for interesting. Do you actually think she knows? Like, do you think she like so I have this little cubby over here, and it's got a blanket and stuff for her, because I used to put a thing of treats in here, and she figured out that it was in there, and so she would go sit in there all the time. She'll sit in there a little bit, but not as much, because I moved them into the drawer. But she knows that they're in there. Ishmael just redeemed to give her a treat. She'll climb in the drawer or paw at the drawer to try to get them out. She hasn't discovered, I've got a big box of, like a big container of treats. on the bottom of this thing that Fieldman sent me in the mail, and I haven't. She hasn't learned yet that that's a box of treats, and I don't know what I'm gonna do when she figures it out.
She's just
calm down. She'll eat it all in like 2 bites.
It's so funny how like just dogs and cats are like, I haven't eaten in like 4 days. I'm starving.
Yeah,
like,
everybody's like, do you feed her? And I'm like, I feed her probably more than I should, and she's still always hungry.
She just wants the treats. She wants the good stuff.
She'll like eat it in 2 bites and then be like, where are they?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What do you feed Maui like morning and night? Like food left out? So
I have I got, when I was in college, I had to get an automatic feeder because I was doing like theater production. So I'd be gone in class all day and then in rehearsal all night. So I wasn't really home to give her, you know, food consistently. Yeah. So I got her a little timer. So basically I do like 4 small meals throughout the day. So I try to spread it out, because if I give her too much at once, she'll eat it all at once and then throw it up immediately after.
Oh no. Yeah.
So yeah,
she
it's
doesn't
like
pay for herself well.
Yeah.
You need to do the thing where like you give her like 2 pieces of food and like get her reaction, like the dogs.
She'd eat it and then look at me like, okay, and
where's the rest?
Yeah.
That's it. And then her mad button, she just says,
mad.
Mad. I'm mad. You don't have. I want more food. Yeah.
We have like a hairball treat and like a B12 vitamin that I've been giving her because of that, you know, we've been trying to, she was throwing up and stuff. So we've been working through some different medicines, and every night she'll stand in front of the TV, because I have it in a little box right next to the TV. She'll stand right in front of the TV and scream at me until I give her her medicine. She's like, it's medicine time. I don't know what they put in her hairball chew, but she goes insane for it. I mean, which is great because I don't have to force her to take it, because like forcing her to take pills is, I hate it. I feel like a terrible mom.
Will not take anything like that. You can't even put cheese in, you know, you can't.
Oh yeah, Maui eats right around it.
Yeah, no, they know. Yeah, they're smart.
I tried to put one of her like pills in. We have these little like, they're like little soups for cats. It's like a little cat broth with a little bit of chicken. She ate everything except for it. She knew how to avoid it.
I love cats.
Oh yeah, she's real smart, but it makes her devious.
Yeah, she can get away with it.
Oh yeah, and she'll do something bad, and I'll be mad for like 2 seconds, and then she's cute, and I'm like, okay, it's fine. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. You can't be mad at her.
So I guess one of my next questions for you, and this is not necessarily stream related, and you can answer it as in depth or as, you know, generic as you'd like to. But what's your story?
My story.
It's a very broad question. You know, you can pick what you feel is most important, but
I think that my story, let's see. I really like to I like to entertain people, and I like to make people feel valued and feel like they're not alone. I grew up extremely quiet, extremely passive. I was bullied a lot, you know. I think a lot of us were, but I was very bullied from the moment I was in kindergarten all the way up until I was in high school. And I remember I found like the drama club in high school, and it kind of allowed me to get out of my shell a little bit and gave me like I guess a purpose, is to entertain. And I've just kind of found my footing and my voice through entertaining others. And I don't know, just going to show that, like, you know, no matter like, you know, who gave you shit and how many people gave you shit growing up, just because you were, I mean, I was just a quiet kid and people just saw that as a, you know, a reason to bully you. And it's really shitty, but like, you can overcome that, you know, you can overcome that just by being yourself and doing what you love, and somebody will like it, you know. And that's the thing too, is like, not everybody's gonna like you. And I think that that's something that I you know, like, I'm learning. And you always, you know, it's always a thing, you know, you want people to like you, especially as an entertainer, right? But like, not everybody's gonna mix well and jam well with what you're putting out there, and that's okay. Because, you know, if you have this audience that you've garnered, like, that means that some people do mesh well with it. And just keep rolling and keep doing what you're doing, because, you know, there are going to be other people that also will enjoy what you're doing. And yeah, I don't know, I just like giving a place for people to come and hang out with, and so they don't feel lonely. And yeah, so that's a story, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's one of those questions that I enjoy, because I feel like you kind of get a good idea of like essential components of a person, like what made a person. And like, I feel like, you know, I know a lot of other people can also relate to like high school, and I enjoyed, because I relate a lot to the experience of like, you know, not really finding a place until like finding that like drama club or like theater, and like finding a place, finding your voice. But yeah, no, I thank you for sharing that too, because I know it's,
of course,
you know, and again, like if there's anything that you feel is too personal, you absolutely don't have to answer it. And totally but good. I appreciate your honesty as well, because I know sometimes it can be hard sometimes to like think back on that stuff, but it's also cool. I think of it sometimes like a badge of honor, because it's like you can reflect on like where you were and where you are now. And
exactly, and it's like, you know, I wouldn't be who I am today, you know, like I wouldn't be who I am, and wouldn't be able to help the people I'm helping, because I hadn't gone through what I went through. And I think everything, when we go through these kinds of, you know, tribulations and trials and tribulations, like we come out stronger in the end. And yeah, I don't know, it just sucks. I couldn't imagine being in middle school and high school with the internet. Like, because when I was bullied in elementary school and in middle school and stuff, we didn't really have the internet. It wasn't a thing. Cyberbullying wasn't a thing. It was just all in person. And then, you know, I'd go home and be upset and didn't want to go to school. But it's like, holy moly, the kids that deal with it now, like online, like I couldn't imagine it. They can't get away from it. It's like a whole thing, and it hurts. It hurts my heart. It hurts my heart so bad. Yeah, and it stinks. Like the teachers, they can't do anything about it because it, and it hurts. So yeah, I don't know if we can just give a place for people, you know, who are going through, because, you know, I have a lot of people who are like young in my community too, even though I'm like, oh my god, I'm corrupting you, I hate this, you know. They're like, it's fine. I'm like, okay. But as long as, like, you know, maybe I'm giving them a place that they can get away from that stuff. So
yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, no.
You mentioned that you kind of came into drama and stuff in high school. Was there anything when you were younger, I guess before you came into that, like elementary school, middle school, anything like you had like a dream job or something that you really, really wanted to be when you were younger?
I wanted to be a vet.
Okay.
I wanted to be a veterinarian. Yeah, I wanted to be a veterinarian because I loved animals so much, and I love cats. And then I realized that I couldn't because I was so allergic to animals. Then I was like, nice. And then, I think that was what I really wanted to be. And I joined the dance team freshman year of high school, and they were all horrible, horrible girls. Just horrible girls. Oh my god, it was movie like esque. It was so bad. Oh my gosh. And then I switched and joined the drama club, and that was it for me. So I did drama club, and then I was in journalism too. Okay. So I did that simultaneously all the way from high school to the end of college, journalism and drama.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So those were my things. But yeah.
If you had to pick, and you could do anything, and you could make whatever amount that you'd like to make currently, and you could pick a dream job, I'm assuming it'd probably be acting related, but like in that realm, even if it would be like a dream role or a kind of character you've always wanted to play, what would be the absolute like pinnacle dream job? Like nothing could beat it.
Having like a series regular and like a comedic, you know, sitcom with I don't know, like I'm a very vulgar, like comedy driven person, and I feel like having a character and being in a show that, you know, portrays that kind of situation, I think would be really fun for me. And like there's definitely something to say about, you know, dramas and getting into a character and, you know, studying that character and doing all of that. But I don't know, I think that I relate so much with that kind of humor personally that I think it would be fun to portray and create another character along those lines. But yeah, aside from acting though, like if acting wasn't a thing that I would be doing, like I think it would be really awesome to be doing something with documentaries. Like, I don't know, I just think like documentary work is like fascinating, and, you know, just something where you can help to inspire people. Yeah. Motivate people, educate people.
With like comedy sitcom, are there any shows that you would say like if you could pick a show, even if it's already been like finished, if you could pick a show like that to be on, do you have any in mind?
Well, it's not, yeah, it doesn't go along with like the whole like of it, but like, oh my god, Schitt's Creek is so freaking
my
good,
god,
dude.
I love that show.
Like, can I just be in Schitt's Creek? What's great about Schitt's Creek is it is clean comedy, and that's something that isn't very like common. Like, you don't have a lot of clean comedy shows that are so well done.
It's just so
like,
well written.
Oh, it is so well written, and like just the back and forth of it all. Like, there's
oh my god, the dynamic is
so
and
yeah,
like
that would
the
be
character
an awesome
development
show.
in that show is also
oh
like
my god, it's beautiful.
top tier. Like, you don't even see it happening, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, like wait, completely different people almost.
The 4th season was the best season in my opinion, and then when it ended, I sat there and I was like, what do I watch now? And I still haven't found another show like that I've been like super smitten about that. There's nothing can top it. And then Dan Levy was on the host of SNL.
Yeah,
like,
Dom and I watched all the sketches. They have a really funny one about, what was it, Zillow? I was cracking up. It's
I need
basically
to watch it. I haven't watched it.
They market Zillow like a dating app almost. It's really funny. You've got to watch it.
Yeah, I need to go watch those. I just saw his monologue and I was like, yeah.
Oh my god! And his dad was there. I saw a video of him like clapping as his son walked out to host SNL, and I like. There were tears in my eyes. I'm like, this is such a sweet moment that like this dad who's done like, you know, Eugene Levy's done so much in comedy himself, that to have his son be successful in his own right, like, oh my god, I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I always just I'm watching that and I'm like, where's the sister? Where's she?
Yeah.
You know, like where's she? Like, it's just funny. But no, yeah, he's great. That show is amazing. Yeah, so something like that. Something campy would always be super fun. So yeah.
Someone said, Baconator said that you would have been a great character in Broad City.
Oh yes.
I feel like that would have been really good.
Yes, indeed. Broad City. That's a great one.
Yeah, that's a show that I didn't expect to cry as hard as I did at the end of. So
I didn't watch the whole thing. I think I watched 2 seasons of it. That's something I probably need to go back and watch.
Yeah, it's good. The ending of it's like very, very bittersweet, and like I cried tears, but I also I enjoy that show because I mean, obviously it's very progressive, and I had to adjust to it. It's like when I started watching It's Always Sunny, like I had to adjust to, because it's a lot more of like crude comedy, and like I was used to like The Office and Parks and Rec, and like it's, you know, they make dirty jokes or whatever, but it's so different in like that it's like more mainstream, you know, like family friendly comedy versus, you know, Broad City and It's Always Sunny, which you would not watch with your family.
Yes, yeah, I know.
But
yeah, I think that's the humor.
Yeah. But it's good. It's one of those that like it's good in its own right, and obviously it's not for everybody. Some people, you know, are not into the more crude type of comedy, but like I think it's definitely good in its own right. But yeah, no, to see you as a character in something like that, I think would be really good.
Yeah, that'd be so fun. I'd be down for that in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, okay. This is probably one of my favorite questions. What would you say are the most important parts of your identity? Like, if you had to pick like 3 or 4 traits about yourself to define yourself, what are the most important ones to you? Like, if you, how would you hope that people see and would describe you?
Open-minded is a big one. Just kind of like what we were talking about before, you know, just open-minded. I guess I'm like really, I feel like I love people, and I want to support people, and I don't know, I just want people to do great things in life. So I don't know what defining word that would be. I guess supportive. And I don't know, I'm a very loud, eccentric person, I think, is like just on the outside. I don't know, it's weird. I never think of defining traits of myself. Yeah, I don't know. And just like, I'm really, like when I get into something that I really care for, like I'm really determined and driven in that field. So like, I guess that's, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird talking about yourself.
It's also, yeah, it's like weird to reflect on like the things about yourself that you don't necessarily actively think about. Like
Yeah, you
they're
don't
kind of
think
always
about
there, but you never, yeah, it's not something that you, unless you are asked about it, will think about. Who would you say is or are your role model or role models?
My mom. Easy. I love my mom so much. She's changed a lot over the years, just because, I don't know, I think that's just what happens when, you know, people get older, you know, things change and mindsets change and stuff, and especially with COVID. But I don't know, like she's definitely has like the whole, like, you know, I really want to live my life mindset, and it's just like extremely frustrating. But aside from that, like, she is extremely supportive of me. Like, she is like my number one fan in whatever I do. And I don't know, she grew up really quickly, which I think can attest to like just her mindset right now, unfortunately. But she grew up really quickly. She lost her mom at a very young age, and she didn't have a father figure. And so she like met my dad and just kind of like had to figure out how to grow up, you know, as a 16-year-old and live her life and raise a family. And I don't know, she's just given a lot for other people, and it's just like really inspiring. And I don't know, she's just a really beautiful person. And so I just hope that I can, have some of those traits as I grow older.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
we talked a little bit about pandemic and everything, but if you could, like, is there one specific thing that you missed the most about pre-pandemic life? And like, what would be the first thing that you would do in a world in which everything returns to normal?
I would throw a party at my house, and you would be invited.
Oh my god, I would love it.
Your dad would be invited. Come hang out. No, I'm serious. Like, my roommates and I, like, I don't know. I would be like, hey guys, we're gonna throw. And they're not like ragers. They're like, you know, board game nights. You know, like party. Everybody gets together. We play like Jackbox. We hang out. We drink. We eat food. Like, it's just a fun time. And one thing that I really like is being able to, like, because I have friends from all over different like areas, right? And so to bring everybody together and have people introduce themselves to each other, and then like watch like friendships and like, you know, connections blossom from that is like really cool. So like being able to like do that and just like hang out with everybody and just like not give a fuck would just be amazing. That's what I would love to do, is just get everybody together. And then there's like a karaoke bar nearby, and we would all go do karaoke. So we would like get drunk, and then we would go do karaoke, and then we'd come back, and it would be great.
I don't think I've ever done like a karaoke night. It's one of those I've always wanted to do, but I've never done.
So when karaoke comes back in the future, in the far, far future, we're going to go to this karaoke place, and it's just the best.
Oh yeah. I'm absolutely down. I've always wanted to do it. I just never have. I never had like a big friend group, I guess, to go do it with. And so that's the other thing that's been so frustrating, is like, I feel like I've made so many friends that are also in the LA area, and I'm like, I want to go hang out and do things, but
there's so
now
many.
I can't.
Half of Mishmash is in LA.
Yep.
Could do it. We would be doing stuff all the time. Like, crazy. I know. Eventually we're gonna do it. I think we were Fishy. We were talking about it. Fishy's like, I want to get a mansion. I'm like, I'm down. She's like, let's just get a mansion and it'll be fine. I was like, yes, let's do it.
Just do like an Airbnb for the weekend. Find a really like bougie place.
I think we should just like rent a cruise, like go do a cruise.
Oh my god, yeah.
That'd be great. And we'll just go. Yeah, it would just be so fun. But yeah, I don't know. I think just throwing a get together and just getting everybody back together would just be probably something. I just miss people so much.
Yeah.
I need it. I need the recharge of it. It sucks.
Do you have any, I guess, situations in life? I know you talked a little bit about how, you know, you were impacted by bullying and stuff in high school, but do you feel like you have any like difficult life situations that like definitively shaped who you are today?
I mean, yeah, I would definitely say the bullying aspect of it. I think, it was a weird time, and it created a bunch of anxieties and a bunch of OCD like tendencies that I like had to continuously, try and figure out how to get rid of. And some of them still stay where they are now. Like people in my stream, like something will happen, they'll be like, oh, she's anxious, like we can tell, and she's not leaving her brain. And I'm like, I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry. But it used to be really, really bad. Like So when I was younger, like the main thing that happened, this is like getting really deep and I'm cool with it, but just so you know, I don't know, trigger warning. I don't know if I should do, but when I was younger, I was like in kindergarten and somebody came up to me, like just teasing me and bullying me. And one of the little girls who was like the teacher's daughter told me that she wished I was dead. Like just a 5-year-old said that to me, another 5-year-old for some reason. And being a 5-year-old, you're like, okay, cool. Am I gonna die tomorrow now? And when am I gonna die? And so that was an OCD. That was something that I had in my brain, is that I was gonna die because this girl wanted me dead. So everything I did, I would then continue asking my mom, am I gonna die? Mom, I accidentally ate toothpaste. I swallowed toothpaste. Am I gonna die now? Is this my time? Like, it was nuts. It was nuts. So I just like had this OCD, and it was bad. It was horrible, all from just this like incident, you know, and the anxieties and all that stuff. And I mean, it went on all the way until like I graduated high school. And then it just kind of transformed into different things, you know, like a crooked tooth. For a really long time, I was like very paranoid about a crooked tooth I had, and that's gone now. So I mean, I definitely, it's transformed a lot and changed a little bit over time, but I've definitely, you know, had to figure out how to not overwhelm people, you know, partners I'm dating, or my family, or my friends, with my OCD and my insecurities and my anxiety. Because it's so easy to try and get reassurance from somebody else, especially somebody else who doesn't know that it's not good to give you reassurance. And so, because then they'll just get trapped, and then you start misusing them, and it's a horrible thing. So I've definitely figured out, you know, how to try and navigate that, and I still mess up, but yeah, it's crazy how that kind of, you know, shapes, you know, how you are, and we're always constantly learning. And yeah, I don't know. So there's that. Yeah. No, I completely, I can relate a lot to just like I don't know, like seeking validation from like a friend or a partner. I've only been in one other relationship in my life, and it was a disaster, partially because I describe myself as like a vortex of need. Because like I just needed that validation all the time. Where I'm like, please, like, tell me that I'm like pretty, or that I'm good at this, or that I, you know. And I think one of the hardest things in life, and like it was like high school to basically end of high school through all of college, I was by myself. I stayed single, and it was just trying to figure out, how do I catch that thought process and reaffirm myself instead of the biggest thing. Yeah. And it's so hard, especially with anxiety too, because it's like, how do I stop that spiral? Because once I get it in my head that something bad's gonna happen, my heart sinks, and I feel like it's happening for real. And it's like, how do you catch it, and how do you start to talk yourself out of it? And like, sometimes it can be helpful to have someone to kind of talk you out of it, but I think one of my biggest fears is that I'll become codependent again. You know, like if I'm not careful about reaching out and being like, hey, tell me that this, you know, and like it feels nice for, I think, anybody to have someone else validate you. But I think learning to validate yourself is one of the hardest but most important things. Yeah. If anything, with this pandemic, like, because I've literally just been alone for the last year, and it's like, it's unfortunate, but it's like, it's forced me to be alone with my thoughts, and me having to be like, it's okay, Katy, you're fine, calm down, you know, like, yeah.
I think the pandemic has been so bad, especially for people with anxiety, because I was very depressed in high school, and then my depression and lack of will to try and live turned into an anxiety that I'm not going to live anymore. So it like kind of switched to the opposite. But so it's that opposite feeling of like, you're sitting with your thoughts all the time, pretty much just you have all the time to run through every possible bad scenario in your mind. And it's been, I think that's one of the things that has pushed me to try to get out and like walk around at least, or like be in nature, because it's so clearing for your mind to be able to just like appreciate things around you, and to breathe non-apartment air, or, you know, not the air in your room. But yeah, no, I'm sorry that you have to deal with anxiety and everything, because I know it's like a mental prison, which is the hardest thing, because it's all internal. And so it's hard for people to be like, it's not like an injury, you know, people can't see it and be like, oh, you need physical therapy for that. It's like, oh, but can't you just feel better? And you're like, I would if I could. So but But yeah, mostly, you know, I'm sorry that you have to deal with that because I know it sucks.
But the thing is it's like it's like I hate thinking this, but it's like so many people also deal with it, you know, and
Yeah.
it's like I don't want anybody else to also feel the way that I'm feeling, but there's comfort in knowing that, you know, like I'm not the only case.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's other people who are also dealing with, you know, certain amounts of anxiety and OCD and loneliness and all this stuff, and kind of like bookends it, you know, like, you know, we're all in this together kind of thing.
It's that kind of that feeling of solidarity, even being so separate, we're still connected.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know, I just think there's something to like the woe is me, like I'm the only person going through this kind of thing. It's just like, no, like you're not, like there's so many other people going through, like you're not just, it's not just you going through this, you know? And so I know that's like I don't like thinking because I don't want anybody else to feel sad or anything, but there is some comfort in knowing that. Yeah. So
what do you want to be remembered for? Like if you had any, I guess, in a situation in which you like moved away from your friend group or, you know, anything, like what would you want to be remembered for? What would you want to be the main thing that when people think of Katy Bentz, like what would you hope comes to mind?
I guess like somebody that inspired them to do something or motivated them to do something good in their life. I don't know, I just impacted their life in some way, whether it's like, I don't know, they think of me and they laugh because, I don't know, something, they remember something funny, or they think of me because I don't know, I helped them impact something in their life. I cared for them, something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Something like that. These things I've never thought of.
Yeah. That's the other thing. I was like looking through because I was like, I want the questions to be, I don't know, meaningful. Because I think one of the other things is one of the bane of my existence is just like small talk. Like I've always disliked it in like, mostly in like in-person social situations where I'm like meeting people and they're like, so like the weather, and I'm like, it's warm. Yep. You know, like, I don't know. And I just think it's so, there's so many different people and so many fascinating people. I don't know. I just enjoy, especially, you know, I know you, but I don't know you as well as I could. And so an opportunity to get to know you, you know, and what makes you, you, I think is just such a, I don't know, a good thing. And I, again, appreciate you for being here and sharing everything because I don't know, it's just really cool to get to know, I guess, more about you. Cause I think I know more about streamer you than things before and you as a person. So I'm really enjoying just getting to like talk to you and get to know more about you.
Good. Well, I'm glad that I feel honored to be here. So thank you again.
Let's see. Who would you say knows you best?
My mom. Like 100% my mom. And then I have my best friends from home that like know me as well, pretty much, like to a T. But yeah, my mom knows me like 100%. Yeah, which is like frustrating, you know, but also like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I feel like with moms, it's one of those, it's like a good and bad thing because you're like, they know you and it's like, it's comforting to know that they get you. But then it's also one of those, like, whenever my mom tells me something, like I know that she's probably right. And I don't always want to listen to it or believe it. Yep.
But you just do because you're like, you know what? Yeah, mom knows best. Yeah. So.
What would you say is your greatest achievement or the thing that you're most proud of?
Life is Strange.
Yeah, that's pretty freaking cool. When you first, because I knew you from Side Quest before I knew that you voiced the character in Before the Storm, and I think you rated, and so my association, because that's how I like formally first ever interacted with you. So I was like, oh yeah, Side Quest. And it wasn't until later into playing the game after your raid, someone mentioned just like casually like, oh yeah, she voices Steph. And I was like, wait a minute, what? Like I had this whole like moment. And it's great because one of Steph's lines is something about like Barb, like one of the characters is like Barb or something. Yeah. And one of my
Barb the elf librarian.
Yep. And one of my community members, he was a mod, he's a VIP, he just kind of he does what he wants, but his name is Barbler Elf. Yeah. And so I was like, you're in the game, like, because I always call him Barb too, and so it was like, you know, Barb and an elf, and it was just such a great moment too. Yeah, and that was one of those, I remember I started, because I didn't know, I played it before, I played the D&D game before I knew that you voice a character, and that was one that I was like playing. I was like, oh, should we do it, you know, and like there's different options to exit, and I was like, nah, we gotta finish this out, we gotta see it out. And it was so good, and it's even cooler just to know retroactively that like that was you.
That was probably like the most proud I've been of anything that I've done, like, you know, acting wise. And I think the thing that just makes me proudest is just that I was able to help inspire people just from being this NPC character that had, you know, several lines in a game. Like, it's just crazy. Like, video games are just so important to so many people, and it just goes to show you just like even NPCs can help impact lives. And I think that's what makes me so proud of being involved in that game.
What was the process for that? Like, did you go in somewhere to do the voiceover work?
Yeah. So I worked out of Burbank. Okay. In one of the studios out there, and I just walked in, and I think I did 12 hours of stuff. I think I went in like 3 or 4 times, and so it was like really not that much work, but it was really cool to go in there and just like be in the studio. And the director was over a speaker in, I think, Colorado, and then the voice director was there, and yeah, I just was reading the lines, reading the lines. Yeah, it was really cool. It was really fun. And then they asked me to be back for the third episode because there's a second D&D one if you do it right. If you let Mikey get slapped, then you get to play D&D again. And that was really cool to get that call. Because that meant that, because they literally wrote that in because of the fandom, because of the players. The players liked the D&D so much that they
did they release so they released the episode, like the first episode, and they hadn't before they released, like, so they didn't have them all written out beforehand, or like they didn't have the entirety of it planned out before? Okay. No. So you were recording after the first one had been released?
Yes. Yeah. So I went back, I can't remember, goodness gracious. I think it came out in September. I think I went back in like, I don't know, January or something to record, maybe February to record for the third episode. Yeah, and it was just like really awesome to know that like they liked the character and like what she was doing so much that they wanted her to come back, and I was like, yes, please. So yeah, that was cool. Really cool. Yeah, I don't know. So I obviously, like, I don't know, I just keep living off of her. I live through her. She's like right there, and there's another one over there. I'm just like, I love her. Yeah, I mean,
I feel like for a lot of actors and voice actors, getting to do something in a game like that, especially for a game that, you know, is so well received and so beloved by so many people, is just kind of an ultimate dream. So and I had no idea. And I had no idea like that she was going to be such an important character to so many people. Yeah. It was just really cool. It's special. I feel like she's a great character because she is representative of a lot of people who, you know, maybe do feel like quieter people, you know, growing up in school, and like maybe don't feel as, you know, outspoken or represented. And so to see a character that like stands in for that and is really cool too, I think that's, you know, she's a likable character too. So I feel like a really cool just thing to have.
Yeah, it was really fun. So yeah, that's definitely like, I don't know how anything's gonna top that. So there you go.
What's your favorite way to waste time? Like, if you have just free time to spend, how would you waste it or spend it?
I've been playing a lot of Tetris.
Okay, I heard about this in the Mishmash creator hangout. Tetris sounds like it's a big thing right now.
I think it's anywhere I go is Tetris is a big thing right now because I'm forcing people to play it, and it's bad.
Is it just like
it's bad.
Tetris but as a group?
Yeah, like you can play it on, it's called Tetri.io. You can play it on desktop. And so yeah, I just play Tetris. But I have it on Switch as well, so I'll just like lay in my bed and play it on Tetris 99. And the other day I got to second and I can't get first. I cannot get first. It's so angering. The day I get first, I'll never play it again.
I've never heard of like competitive Tetris.
Oh, it's a thing. It's a huge thing. Yeah, it's a big thing. But I only recently started playing it because of the Switch that I got for Christmas from my friends. And then I started playing Tetris 99. Yeah, so currently, like right now, like biggest thing I'm wasting my time doing is playing Tetris.
I mean, as long as you enjoy it. I mean, I can't talk. I've wasted so much of my time in Stardew Valley. Like, I will sit down and all of a sudden it's been hours. Like, my farm's not even that impressive looking, but I've sunk hours into it. Like, Dom and I have a farm on desktop that we have spent at least 90 hours playing. And that, because it's one of those that's easy to do when he's in Jersey. You know, we'll jump on a Discord call and we'll just play Stardew.
You'll just chat while you play Stardew. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like 5 a.m. my time. So like add like 3 hours for him. Oh, it's light outside.
Yeah.
I feel like the games like that are so like it's so easy to get lost in them because you're like, I'll just do another one. Like, it's fine. And then I'll stop. And then next thing you know, hours have passed.
Yeah. I've been, so like on top of Tetris, I've been painting. I'm doing another paint by numbers, but off a stream. So
okay, yeah. I feel like that's good to do like off of stream too, because I feel like it's such a soothing, you know, you can just sit and do it.
It's so nice. And it's like what you were talking about with like WoW, of just like, you know, you have one section and you do it and you finish it and you move on to the next number, and it's like so satisfying.
I started one of those with Dom back around Christmas because I did on Etsy, you can get like a custom paint by numbers, so you can get a picture. And
cool.
So we don't take pictures together, we take pictures of Maui together. Like we aren't in the pictures, it's just Maui. But I found one that we had, and so they print it out onto a canvas and they give you all the colors and do all the numbers and everything. So we started it, but it's been sitting on the table because we just haven't finished it. But
I've been looking for one where you can send in a picture.
Yeah, so I can send you like an Etsy link. I'll show you, send you the link to the place. I tried to find one on Google and it did not work out. Like I tried to like put it in there and it just didn't work out. Because I saw ads for it on Instagram, but the ones I found, the websites were kind of sketchy. So I just went to Etsy. But I got like 3 because I did it for Christmas presents. I did one for a family friend, so I did one of her dog, and then I did one for my friend Maddie that was like the 2 of us. And it's a nice gift because it's like a personalized one, and like so you could personalize it to whatever you wanted and do a paint by numbers for whatever you want. So I'll send you the link for that. It's pretty good.
Cool. Yeah, I'm down. I love paint by numbers.
Yeah, I'd been wanting to do one for a while, and so I was like, if I give this to Dom, we'll probably do it together, so it's a win-win.
Like, we'll probably do it, or we may just like spend more time on our Stardew farm.
Yeah, either way. Do you have any favorite games from when you were younger? I know you mentioned, was it Crash?
Yeah, like Spyro. I would say Spyro was probably, because again, like I didn't play as many games as a lot of like the people in our like streamer communities do, like when they were younger. But Spyro was definitely one of the games that I played a lot, and Crash Bandicoot was another game that I played a lot when I was younger. But yeah, I just remember getting Spyro like on Christmas Eve and playing it, and my mom was like, "You need to go to bed or Santa's not gonna come." And I'm like, "Oh gosh, dang it! You know, I want to keep playing Spyro." But yeah, so probably those 2 games. I did play like Vice City when I was in middle school because it was like my brother's, and I can't believe I got a hold of that game like that young. Like that game is like, I love Grand Theft Auto. I love Grand Theft Auto, but it's just so funny playing that game when you're like a 12-year-old girl. Like, you know, I'm over here like stealing women off the street and like stealing their money, and it's like, what am I doing? Like my mom didn't even know I was doing this.
I feel like it's like when you look back on music that you sang along to as a kid and you're like, these were the lyrics the whole time. Like,
oh my god, like any 303 song.
Oh
like,
my god, yeah.
I recently listened back to some of the 303 songs and I was like, wow. Like,
it's like, what? I went hard to this and I had no idea what I was saying.
No, you don't know any idea. Nuh-uh. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, those are the 2
I feel like
Spyro and Crash.
Spyro and Crash were 2 that I remember. Like, the thing, I didn't always get to play the games because they were my brother's consoles, so I'd either sit and watch, or like on occasion he'd let me play. I got to play Animal Crossing on GameCube a little bit, but I'd watch him play Kingdom Hearts and stuff, and so I remember those. And I remember I liked Kingdom Hearts because it was like Disney characters, and I was like, that's the princesses, and you know, and all that.
That was cool for you.
Oh yeah, I'm similarly like, I remember a couple games from like early childhood and like DS games a little bit, but then there was a big period of my time that I just didn't.
That's how it was for me. Yeah, like middle school to college, like middle school to 3 years ago. Like I didn't play any games. I didn't play any games. I did play Heavy Rain in high school at a friend's house.
I've had that one recommended to me.
Yeah, I played that. That was like some random game that I played in the middle of like that span of not playing games for 10 years. Like, but yeah, that was a good game. Yeah.
I think in high school, I didn't play through the games, but I remember I was hanging out with someone and they showed me Portal 2 and the Stanley Parable. And I have memories of those games. We didn't really play through them, but they showed me parts of them. And I was like, oh, these are computer games now. Like, these aren't the Barbie computer games that I remember from my childhood. Like,
right? Oh my God, Neopets?
Oh my gosh. Neopets. And I remember Webkins was a thing for a while. And yeah, it's
Neopets.
I remember I would get in trouble for being on Neopets too long.
Neopets was like this, just like, it was a weird time. It was a fun time. Yeah. A weird time. Yeah. I think that was the same time as AOL. I think so.
Yeah, I feel like I exist in this weird bubble of like I'm not really a millennial. I'm like not technically a 90s kid because I was born in 97. So it's like I remember some of these things, but then there were certain things like AOL, like I remember seeing it on the computer, but I never actively used it. You know, like I wasn't allowed to because I was pretty young.
Your brother's older or younger?
Yeah, so he's 95.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's 25 or 26 now. I can't remember, but
yeah, I never remember the ages of my siblings either.
Yeah.
Just,
I'm like, I know the year you were born, but I can't remember exactly how old you are now.
That's exactly how I am too. I'm like, yeah.
Oh yeah. But yeah. So you said you have a brother. Is that the only sibling that you have?
So I have a brother and a sister.
Okay. Are you oldest, youngest?
I'm the baby.
The baby. Yeah.
Yeah. So my sister's like 6 years older. Again, yeah, I think 6 years older, and then my brother's 10 years older.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, we've got a little bit of a range there. I don't know if I was. I think I was a little bit of a surprise.
A little blessing.
Yeah. A little blessing, not an accident, a blessing. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like because I had such a gap in between playing games, I get really intimidated playing them on stream because I know that I'm bad at them. Have you ever had any sort of like, I guess it depends on the game that you're playing, but have you ever had any like, not anxieties about it, but kind of?
I mean, I think I just like key into it and I'm like, guys, I suck. Like, and I'm not like, again, it's not a bit, like I really truly am not good. And like, yeah, and I just tell them, I say, guys, I'm not good at this. Like, I'm horrible. I'm like the slowest playthrough gamer there is. I truly believe that. Because yeah, I'm not good either. But if you want to play a game that makes you feel really good at gaming, play Doom Eternal. Because you can play that on easy and you can just like rip people apart and you'll feel like a real pro FPS shooter gamer girl. Okay, that's what happened to me. Okay? I was different after that.
So intimidated though to select easy, especially if people are watching, because I feel like people are like, easy, play it on normal at least, or like
I played Last of Us on light or whatever, and part of me was like, yeah, people are gonna give me shit about it, but then everybody in chat was like, no, Katie, you want to just like enjoy the story. And I was like, yeah, I do want to enjoy the story. And like there was definitely lots of times where I was just dying and I wasn't even on normal, and I was not good.
I started a playthrough on that, and I started it on normal because people are giving me shit about doing easy, and I haven't touched it since. I did one I started playing it on stream once, and then I haven't touched it because I got so intimidated. There's a part where you're in a building and you have to kill the zombies without shooting them because then you attract I don't know, I died a million times and I was like, I need to stop because I was getting mad.
Yeah, I think that's what happened with me with Horizon, because I never finished Horizon Zero Dawn because I think I think I could do it if I played it on easy instead of normal.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it's hard streaming and playing those games. Yeah,
oh yeah. I mean, especially, and I feel like part of it is like I get frustrated at myself, and so then I feel like people can tell that I'm frustrated, right? Like, you know, I get like a little ragey at the game, and mostly myself and my inability to do it. But then it's also because I feel there's pressure that like I have to do it. I'm like, I feel like I have to prove myself being worthy of like playing games on stream.
Oh yeah, believe me, I honestly want to quit playing BioShock on stream right now. Like I don't want to play it anymore, but I have to finish it. I have to fucking finish this game, and I don't want to. because I'm so bad at this game, but I will finish it. And I don't know why, but I bought the other two. So that means that I will probably play those two, but I'll finish them. It's a good feeling once you finish a game.
Oh yeah,
I'm kind of hated everything about it.
I'm kind of feeling similarly about Until Dawn. Like I've enjoyed the story so far, but I know I'm gonna get everyone killed because it always comes down to those like QTEs where I have to click square, and I have not played PlayStation in forever. I got a PlayStation, that's why I started streaming actually, but I played like half a game on it, and then I went and did everything on my PC because I like PC games better because I like the controls.
Yeah. Same. Yeah.
And so every time it's like click circle, I'm like you know, and like I miss it, and then everybody dies, and so it's one of those like I don't want to finish it because I know I'm gonna get everyone killed, but I know
just lean into it.
Yeah,
you know? Lean into it.
That's what someone in my channel in Discord was like, oh, it's I a character killer Yoshi, and so I changed my nickname on my Discord to that because I'm like, screw it, that's what's happening.
Just lean into it. Yeah,
if anyone lives, it's by mistake.
Yeah, exactly, right. Oh, that's hilarious.
What never fails to make you smile or laugh?
Oh gosh. Stupid like TikTok videos or Instagram story videos. I don't know, like cat ones, like cats just like being goofy and falling and like just being silly, just animals. I don't know. Right now there's just this hilarious meme video going around with like the look at that happy cat. That's what I'm talking about, and it's just like a dog just like shaking its butt, and I die. It's hilarious. I absolutely love it. So just like stuff like that, just like I don't know, just a good nice like wholesome video like that. Just something that'll make me laugh out loud really hard. And it's nice and refreshing.
Yeah, it cracks me up. I'll always watch stuff like that, or like watch different like reels on Instagram, or watch like animal TikToks, and then I always look at Maui and I'm like, why aren't you doing that? Like
why aren't you? Maui could be like that. You just you know the mug incident that could have been a thing, you know. Instead, but at the time, you were probably very depressed about your mug.
Oh yeah, so. For sure. I was mad. I was like, I'm not gonna look at you because if I look at you, I'll pet you, and I don't want to reinforce this, you know.
Yeah. Maui's mischievous.
She really is. She's too smart for her own good, and she uses it to torment me.
To get treats.
Oh yeah, mostly that.
Get her treats.
There was one night that I was in the apartment and Dom was here, and I was like I think I was like drunk or something, and Maui was meowing at me to give her more food, and Dom's like, no, she already ate, like you can't give her more food, and like drunk me was like, but she needs it, like she's so hungry. Like I just got so upset because I'm like, I'm gonna be such a bad cat mom if I don't do this. Like I'm so much more susceptible to her guilt sometimes, and that was one of those that I was like, I have zero willpower right now.
She knew. She was like, I know mom's drunk, and
she'll give me whatever I want.
She'll give me whatever I want right now because she's gonna feel bad if she doesn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She knows. She's devious. I don't even know where she went. She's hiding, waiting. She's in her little pod. Oh my god. Someone got her a little wool pod, right? It's just like
cute.
a tiny little thing. I put it under the stairs. She almost never uses it, but she's using it right now. Yeah. Oh, she's curled up like a little cinnamon roll. It's my favorite. Wow.
Like somebody from stream got it for her?
Yeah. Oh, she looked at me. She's like, you're talking about me? Sorry. I'm sorry.
Cute.
But yeah, she's a little
awesome.
little kitty croissant. She's grumpy now. She's like, you've disturbed my slumber. It's like the cave from Aladdin that pops up, and it's like, who has disturbed my slumber?
Right? Yeah. Seriously.
Anytime I wake her up, that's her.
Yeah, whenever I talk about my cat, like my cat's back in my parents' house, but like you just like say his name and he just like knows, and he starts like swishing his tail. He's got some attitude. He's got catitude for sure. Yeah, he's something else.
It's just wild to me that cats can have so much attitude but also be so cute at the same time.
Because they just know. They know what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
They all know what they're doing. Yeah.
They're honestly too smart for their own good. Like having a cat is knowing that you're going to be manipulated but being okay with it.
Yeah, because like we literally are like just cuddles for like 2 seconds.
Whenever she decides for like, just a minute that she wants to sit with me, I'm like, I'm blessed, and I'm recharged for the week.
exactly. I'll take all of your manipulation now and guilt trips and all of that.
Oh yeah, it's really funny because Dom and I will be sitting on the couch like watching a TV show or something, and Maui will come and just plop herself like right in between. And if Dom tries to like, you know, lean over at all or get closer, she's not for it. She hisses. Or
That's so funny.
sometimes he'll be sitting there. He's just sitting, minding his own business on the couch. Yeah. She walks by him. He doesn't move at all. She walks by him, but hisses at him as she walks by. And
just so he knows, so he knows that she is the ruler of the house.
Yeah, she just likes to make sure that he is constantly aware of it.
Wow.
She'll Dom will go to give her like a treat or give her medicine or something, or give her, you know, a snack. And while he's doing that, she hisses at him. So he started being like, no, you can't do that. If I'm giving you a treat, you're not allowed to hiss at me. And he'll like try to wait. Eventually, I think he just does it. But
yeah, he just gave up.
She's just constantly asserting her dominance.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, you'd think that she'd be used to him by now.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess she just doesn't like to share her space. And I'm the kind of cat mom that'll cater to what she needs. I've got a million blankets everywhere for her to lay on, and like if she sits in my chair, I'm like, okay, I guess we're sharing the chair now. Like I'm not gonna pick her up and move her because I feel bad.
That's how I am too, honestly. Like that's literally how I am.
It's that whole like, this is my life now, you know, I've accepted it. Like if I'm sitting, or I'll lay down in bed and like it'll be kind of like I haven't settled, but then she'll come and sit on me and I'm like, I'm not comfortable and I can't fall asleep like this, but I can't move either, so this is my life now.
Yeah, you're like, my leg is like all turned and weird, and but I can't move because there's a cat on me, and this is what I've wanted my whole life.
I've waited my entire life for this one moment.
Yes.
Do you have anything that never fails to make you angry, like without fail, like pet peeve kind of thing?
Just dumb people. Just people being stupid. I don't know. It can be people driving, people just like out and about. I just see something happen and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, what is this? Why'd you do this?
Especially driving in LA.
People make so many dumb just things. I'm just like, what are you doing? What's going on here? Yeah, like for instance, like where my apartment is, like the road goes from basically 2 to like 1, but it like goes at a slow pace.
Yeah.
And so my like turn in is right before that. And so I turn my blinker on because I'm gonna turn into my freaking driveway, and I get honked at by people. I'm like, why I have to turn? I'm turning my blinker on to turn into this area. What are you honking at me for? Like, what?
That makes me so upset because honestly, to me, it's more frustrating when someone doesn't use their blinker, which happens all the time. I'm like, did you not take driving school? It's literally, it takes minimal effort to just flick your blinker to indicate, hey, I'm moving. But then there's the whole, you do that and no one lets you over. And
or another thing that really like gets me, especially, and I didn't start doing this until I realized it, just from like experience. Put your hazards on when you are going to parallel park. Don't put your blinker on because it doesn't make sense to people. Because then you put your blinker on and then you're driving and then you stop and then you put your reverse lights on. And you're like, what is this person doing? Oh, they're trying to back up into that. Put your hazards on because that means, okay, stay away from this person. They're trying to do something.
Yeah.
Put your hazards on in a parallel park. I started doing that probably about 2.5 years ago after I realized this is what hazards are for.
Yeah.
It happened to me the other day and I was just like, oh my gosh, what are you doing?
I pretty much try to never leave the apartment if I can. Like if I can avoid having to drive anywhere, I will not. Like I
love driving. I absolutely love driving. It's just there's just a lot of dumb drivers in LA, especially when it rains. They don't understand
what to do with their life.
They're like, I can't drive now. It's like, yeah, you can.
It's like in Texas, whenever it snows, everybody like, and it usually, for the most part, it's not ice. Like sometimes there's ice and like, we have to be cautious, but it'll snow a little bit and everybody's like, I don't know what to do. Like, and it's really funny to watch.
You're like, but you're fine. You're okay.
It's okay. Yeah. You'll be all right.
You're not gonna, nothing bad is gonna happen.
I don't know. I think some of my favorite times driving around LA is like some of the highways that just go through the mountains that are fairly open. I mean, the traffic is the worst part, obviously, but like if you can find the stretches of road that are just like open and you're just in the mountains, like Oh my God.
My favorite drive is through the Santa Monica Mountains to PCH.
Okay, gotcha.
So I'll do that all the time. I'll just drive through there, go to the PCH, drive up the PCH, find like a spot on the beach where there's nobody at, and I'll just be like, this is where I live right now.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been wanting to do, but my sleep schedule's so messed up right now that I don't wake up early enough, and then I've got like an hour or two until stream, and then I'm like, all right, well.
Oh no.
Yeah. I just need to, Dom and I have been binging some Netflix shows, so it's really easy to not go to bed until yeah
6 in the morning.
Yeah,
it's like,
yep.
Didn't mean to do that.
Yeah. But that, and I want to find some good like forest hiking paths. Like I just want to go be in trees.
Yeah, there's a really, I'll send you if you remind me because I'll forget. There's a really great hike I can tell you about.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you about a really good hike. That is one of my favorite ones to go on, and there's literally hardly anybody there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because that's the other thing, is like not finding crowded ones.
Yeah, like there's really, this one's like in a neighborhood, like out in the Palisades. It's like so random. So it's a little bit of a drive, you know, but it's out there, but it's worth it. It's a nice little hike. So that's the one that I go to whenever I want to go on a hike.
What I want to do at some point, I mean, it's hard to do with like having Maui here and stuff, but I want to go get like an Airbnb for the weekend in like San Francisco and go to like Redwoods.
Yes, I've been thinking about that. I want to go to like Mammoth, you know.
Oh yeah.
I want to do that too. I'm just too scared to go alone, to be honest. Yeah. But like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just worried. It's like whatever that one movie was of the girl who went Hush. Was it Hush?
If it's a horror movie, I haven't seen it. Yeah, I don't do scary movies.
I think she's deaf. And I'm not deaf, so like it's a different situation, but still she goes in a cabin by herself in the middle, and she's like trying to like have like a time to herself, and she like there's like a guy that like breaks into her house, but she can't hear that. It's creepy, dude.
Oh my gosh.
She can't hear him. Anyway, so I'm just like, that could happen to me and I would still die even if I can hear them, so it would just not be a good situation. But yeah, I would love to do that though. So yeah.
So I don't know if I think I mentioned this in like DMs and stuff, so I don't know if you've like thought about it at all, but if you had to pick what you would say is your passion or what drives and inspires you, what would that be?
I would say just lifting people's spirits and inspiring people and helping them, just impacting their life in any way I possibly can. I told this in my chat the other day. I think that like I am just one person, and to make a change on a bigger scale is, in my opinion, seems almost impossible. But to make a change on a smaller scale to, you know, however many people are in my stream, 40, 50 people watching me, like I can make an impact with these people, and I can make their day better, and I can make them, you know, maybe help their depression or their anxiety by them watching me. And so that's, I think, what keeps me going as a streamer, and that's what I'm really passionate about, is just helping people get through their day-to-day life, especially during this pandemic. And yeah, like it really warms my heart to like receive like messages or letters saying like, hey, you really helped me during this like dark time. And I'm like, you know, you don't realize that you're just being yourself and playing games and, you know, whatever else you're doing on stream. And to get those messages is just like really cool to know that like I am actually making an impact in people's lives. And that's important, because that's always something that I said I wanted to do is make an impact, whether, you know, big or small, you know. Because when at least if you're changing one person's life, that's something. So
yeah. It's kind of crazy because you don't always like, there are those instances where people will reach out and be like, oh, like this had a big like impact, but it's also crazy to think about how like you probably had that impact on so many people that you might not ever know. And I think that's one of the both cool and crazy things is you know, like countless lives that'll be, you know, a little bit better just because, you know, you were there to hang out with and be around, and your community was there to provide a sense of, I don't know, belonging and comfort to people. And it surprised me how much streaming is people looking for human connection too, you know, like it makes sense, but it's also one of those that like there are a lot of people who give a lot of shit to female just chatting streamers, and like I understand where they're coming from to some degree, you know, and my opinion's always been like, to each their own. If they're doing their thing, you know, let them do their thing. They're making money, you know, and good for them. But I think that it's also such an important category because it, you know, you can do a lot of other things and be there for people, but I think being there to talk to people and being a presence of positivity for people is so important. And I think that it's become increasingly important, especially in the pandemic, is because like this is some of the only interaction that they get. And like I don't know, I think that what you're doing with your community and people who maybe don't interact, maybe they just lurk and come through, like it's so important, and I feel like it doesn't always get the recognition that it should. Yeah, and not saying that that's why it's done, but
no, yeah, definitely. But yeah, you're correct about that. You're 100% correct. And there's a ton of people lurker wise. I know, because like somebody will come in and be like, I've been lurking for X amount of years.
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted to say this to you, and it's just like, whoa, you know, it makes you think about how many other people don't say anything because they're watching. And that's what's cool too, is that, you know, however you want to watch the stream, like I'm totally cool with that. You know, if you're a lurker, if you're just, you know, if you're a chatter, if you're a financial supporter, like however you want to watch it is fine by me. Like it makes me happy, you know, just having you here, knowing that you're getting something from my stream.
Yeah, it's crazy because I feel like I've heard so many people be like, you know, like, oh, like I know I'm just a lurker, and I'm like, you can't, like, do not diminish your role by saying you're just a lurker. Like you're there supporting, you're there hanging out, like to any capacity. Like it's providing support to the community and to the streamer. And honestly, like I don't know, because there have been so many times that I'll just leave a stream on in the background, and like it's just it's so nice. And I'm like, if you like being here, even if it's not interacting, just listening is helpful in any capacity. Like that's what it's here for. You know, you don't have to, you know, be talking as actively as everybody else. And I don't know, it's kind of wild because there are so many different kind of supporters and so much different kind of support that you can provide through streaming. I don't know, it's a very, if you find the right communities and people to talk to and be to be a part of, the streaming community can be so supportive and such an important thing to like network to be a part of, whether it be a streamer or a viewer. And I feel like sometimes I get so much flack because people are like, it's the internet, like you're making fake internet friends. And I'm like, I don't know, like I was very skeptical about making friends at first on the internet because everybody's like, be careful who you talk to, which obviously, you know, be careful because people can be bad. But you know, you can also have such deep, meaningful conversations with people that I wouldn't have ever had with people in real life. You know, like there are some things that I've been able to talk to people, you know, and get really close to people here. And like, there's so many different, I guess, communities to be a part of. I think it can be such an important part of finding yourself too, because you can find who you relate to and people who support you for you.
Yeah.
I don't know. In your process of as you kind of came into Twitch and started streaming, since you didn't have as much knowledge of it beforehand, what was the adjustment process socially? Because I know it was a little bit of a process, like figuring out the streaming mechanics, but did you know a lot of people? How was it meeting people?
Yeah. When I first started streaming on Twitch, it was very weird because I didn't know a lot of people at all. I didn't know a lot of people. I truthfully started meeting most of the streamer friends that I know now through SideQuest. Like that's like where it all kind of started. But yeah, when I first started, I didn't know very many people, and it had kind of a warped like idea of like, you know, other streamers, and like it felt very competitive, and I hated that. I didn't like that. I was like, this is weird. I don't like this. And then and then I was able to meet, you know, people from SideQuest and some other voice actor streamers, and then it started to make me realize, okay, these people are here, you know, to support each other. And I finally found like my little home where I was supposed to be in the community with all the other streamers. But yeah, in the beginning, it was very, it was weird. It was weird. So yeah, I had a very, very small little like, not even like, it was just like a line. Like there wasn't even a circle. It was just like a line. because there
Yeah.
wasn't just many people I knew. So it takes time. It takes time to gain, you know, friendships and peers and those kinds of things with other streamers. But I think, yeah, just meeting people and connecting and all that kind of stuff is really, really important. Like, that's why one reason why, you know, like, we really wanted to make Mishmash is because we wanted to create more avenues for people to know each other and connect with other people that were hopefully like-minded like themselves.
Yeah, I was gonna say most of my friends from stream I think came from Mishmash actually. Like I knew a couple of people before that because I was still maybe like a little over half a year in. So I was still like, I don't know anyone. And then you know, the people that I know through Mishmash like have become some of my closest friends, whether that be the other streamers or other people that I've met from the community. And I think that regardless of, you know, whatever, you know, went on with Mishmash and like as a channel, like I think it definitely achieved the goal of bringing people together and connecting. And I'm super grateful for that because, you know, 100%. I've met so many cool people.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, yeah, like we knew each other, you know, before Mishmash, but like without Mishmash, we probably wouldn't have gotten, you know, closer. I probably, who knows if I would be sitting right here with you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like I wouldn't have felt as comfortable reaching out to be like, hey, let's play games or let's do this or like, do you want to do this? And
and I feel that too. Like I said, like I literally like will just like hang out with Miles and until 5 in the morning and it's horrible. But it's so fun because like, yeah, we found just this like nice little thing that we just enjoy going to after streams. So makes it makes it nice. It makes it nice. But yeah.
As a I guess one of my other questions is I kind of like it came up when we were talking about like community and stuff, and like this is one that I feel like can be a little bit of a trickier issue sometimes, especially being a female streamer. How do you, and if you do, draw lines with, you know, stream and your personal life? Because I know sometimes one of the things that I felt like was hardest when I started streaming is I wanted to be close friends with everybody, but as your channel grows, it's less manageable. I have learned through trial and error that there has to be a fine, like there's a fine line between streamer and viewer. And I've met awesome people too that I've connected with a lot, and friends that I've made in the viewership. But it just, it just has to have a fine line. It has to, especially like when it's your job, like when it's your full-time job, because things can get muddy and things can happen. And, you know, you got to make sure that, like, again, if it's your full-time job, like that's very important because, you know, a lot of stuff rides on that. And when you have relationships that you've made in the community, it can get really messy. And also I'm very personal and like people don't know a lot about like my personal life. And I think that that's really important because I mean, you know, it can go either way, whatever you're comfortable as a streamer. But with me, I just like, I don't know, like I want just the stream to be about what the stream is about, not about like my personal life. And like, I don't post too many personal things, you know, and that's just like how I feel. And I think that it can be whatever the streamer feels comfortable with. Cause I know other streamers who are close with their streaming communities and really, really close, and that's totally fine. It's just, and they could be, you know, a full-time streamer as well. It's just, I feel like whatever you feel comfortable with. But yeah, when I first started, like I ran into some bumps along the way in the beginning, and it just kind of taught me to just like, you know, make sure that, you know, you're keeping it very professional in that sense. So yeah, I feel like it's one of the hardest distinctions to make because it's like you want to be able to be there for everyone, but it's also a drain, I feel like, on the streamer, because it's like you want to give them everything, but if you do it all the time, then there's no time left for you to be a person and exist.
Exactly. And a lot of the times too, like they don't understand that, like, you know, you need to go rest, you need to go do yourself, like, you know, and half the time too, like there's other things that are going on in streamers' life that you have no idea what they're dealing with or going through. And so yeah, when it's not stream time, you know, I think that, like, I don't know, it depends on like if the streamer puts themselves out there, if the streamer like puts messages in the Discord and talks and stuff, like cool, okay. But like I think there just needs to be a fine line between like what is it? Oh gosh, I just like a parasocial relationship. I think that's the word, about how like viewers feel like it's just, this is how it is that a viewer is going to feel more connected to you as a streamer than the streamer is going to feel, because you're literally talking there and they see your face all the time, and like they hear your voice, so they have this relationship with you that you don't necessarily have with them. And so it's hard for them to understand that it's not okay to like constantly message you or ask you these questions that aren't probably appropriate to ask you as a streamer, because they see the relationship between the two of you very different than you do. And so it's just, I actually posted a video recently in my Discord, just to, you know, because it's very important, you know, that people understand that relationship, because it's
hard because people don't always respect that, and sometimes it's, I feel like, definitely hard to get it, I don't want to say like misinterpreted, but like, again, being a person where they see your face all the time, you talk to them, you share things with them, you don't know them as well, you might not even know what they look like, and then people will quickly build it up to be something. I read someone, they posted an experience that they had with someone who apparently for years had been blog posting about how they're, you know, everything she says is for this person, you know, she wore the shirt because he likes it, like, and stuff like that is so, you know, it's so wild. And I think that's another thing, because I know there are people who will get upset if you don't respond to their DM. Or I had someone, I hadn't even been streaming that long, but it was Christmas last year, Christmas Eve. I got a paragraph DM from someone being like, you didn't send me a DM saying Merry Christmas and and like, you didn't invite me to play a game. And like, I can't reach out to everybody personally, you know, like as much as I would love to, I can't. And it's so, it sucks too, because it's like, I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want you to feel bad. I do care about everyone, but I can't take care of everyone.
You're not obligated to respond to anybody. And like this is like the harsh side of like my mindset when it comes to streaming, but like, you're not obligated as a streamer. Like, you are not obligated. You should not feel guilted or the need to respond to anybody. You know, if somebody makes you feel uncomfortable, you don't have to respond to them, you know? And like, I get messages a lot, and I don't respond to them because I don't think it's appropriate. That's just how it is. I don't think it's appropriate. There's times on stream where I'll be like, hey, like, message me, you know, if I'm like, hey, message me for this, you know, remind me about this. Like, cool, that is an open invitation to message me because I've asked you to. But yeah, no, I've had multiple people message me, and it actually became an issue in my Discord recently, like a week and a half ago or something. It was a big issue, and I took a couple days off of streaming because I was done. Like, I was so upset because I somehow was wrapped up in people's drama that wasn't even in my community. People messaging me like, what is that, you know? And
it can
so
just be overwhelming.
It is very, very overwhelming, and I try to I don't block people, I don't mute people, I just leave it there, you know? And so I don't think it's you should feel obligated to message people. So
I think it's hard, and I think getting rid of that sense of guilt has been one of the hardest things personally, because I especially when I started, was very susceptible to like being guilted, like especially emotionally, because like I want to care for everybody, and so it'd be the whole, oh, you didn't respond to me, I'm depressed, but like basically using like emotional manipulation to get you to respond. So like I've had to, I don't want to say become more of a bitch about it, but like I've kind of had to harden myself to it, you know?
Oh, no, that's exactly what I've done, and I feel that's why I said like I feel like I'm harsh saying this, but like honestly, like it's just 3 years, and it's just like you can't just let it happen.
I feel like viewers will, and that's not to say that again that we don't care about them, but it's like there's a time and a place when we're streaming or when we make ourselves readily available on Discord. That's when it's okay. But then I feel like people have this mindset of like, it's just me, I'm just one person. But when everybody has that mindset, you no longer all of a sudden have free time. Like one of the bane of my existence, it's happened like twice now on one of my off days, where someone causes a problem and drama erupts and I have to deal with this. I'm like, this is my off day. This is the day that I was supposed to be able to exist in my apartment, in my sweatpants, doing nothing and being, you know, just taking a step away from it. And it can be difficult when that inner, you know, leaks into your personal life, because you're like, okay, all right,
and you want to fix it because like, or you just, I don't know. it's hard because you don't want to just be like a dick about it, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like after 3 years of it, it's just you have to just cut it off. You have to cut it off, or else you're just gonna be miserable. And yeah, there's been times where I'm like, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know if I want to keep streaming because of, you know, people messaging me, and it's just like, I can't. Yeah.
It's that moment you're like, can I handle this? Like, it's because it builds up is the thing that I feel like people don't always realize is like, maybe it seems like, oh, this is an isolated incident, but everything over time builds up with also the stress of streaming and making sure that you're doing it and you're putting out good content, or, you know, if viewership drops, or if your like sub count for the month isn't where it should be and it's your main source of income. Like, I feel like there are so many stressors that when you add that on top of it, people are like, oh, but it's just this one thing. But it's not just that one thing, because it's this with all the other streaming things, and then there's life.
Yeah, my mods are saints. I'm like, they like literally deal with so much stuff, like, and they just, I don't know what I would do without my moderators. They are so helpful and everything, and yeah, it's just so awesome. But...
Oh yeah, I second that. Cowboy has gotten so many nasty messages from people who
I feel like Cowboy just like would be like, you know, like,
I mean, I feel like that's how he responds. He's just kind of like, whatever, you know.
He's just like,
yeah. sends like an emote or something. But yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, Gorillas and PS Switch. Those are two of my mods. Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Cowboy's been around the longest and the most consistently, and I've had other people come through, but I feel like Cowboy is kind of like the highest tier of modding that I've seen. I feel bad though, he probably does more than he should, because I'll be like, I think I need to make this command, and he'll be like, I gotta do this, don't I? Like, and so he'll just like, but he knows how to just type it up, and he knows more about my stream sometimes than I do. Like, he'll remember, he's like, this happened like last week, and I'm like, did it? Are you sure?
That's a good kind of mod.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the same with me. Yeah.
I swear he keeps a log. I don't know how he remembers. Like, I feel like also as a streamer, it's easier to forget what happens during a stream because it's so long and you're talking the whole time. But as a mod, maybe it's easier to, I feel like I wouldn't be able to remember it all anyway, though.
Yeah, no, I remember, or I just can't remember what I did or said like 2 minutes ago, and people are like, Kitty, you just said that. And I'm like, oh, did I?
I know. I'll like bring something up, and then like a couple minutes later, I bring it up again, and they're like, you already said that, and I'm like, did I? Did I think this, or did I actually say it? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's fun though. It's yeah, it's been a good time. It's been a good time. I can't believe it's been 3 years, over 3 years of this.
Yeah,
it's
that's
nuts.
wild. If you had, I guess, any advice for yourself when you started streaming, what would be your main advice to yourself or to anyone who wants to start and maybe is afraid to or hasn't?
Just make sure that you're doing something that you want to be doing. Just do something that you want to do. Don't try to go out there and play games you don't really want to play. You know, you're just not going to enjoy it. You're going to regret it. You're going to be like, why am I playing BioShock? Sorry, I'm just so sick and tired of BioShock. No, but yeah, just play games that you want to play, and don't try to, like, I don't know. I think a lot of the times we can look at other streamers and be like, oh, I should be doing what they're doing, you know? And it's like, well, do you want to be doing what they're doing? Like, do you want to try that out? Okay. You know, or are you just trying to do it because you think that's what you need to do, even though you know you're not going to enjoy that? And also, like, it's not overnight. It's not an overnight thing. Like, you know, like, I've hit freaking walls and walls before where, like, my follower list, like, just stops. It just stops for months. Like, you know, I finally reached 11,000, but I was sitting on the brink of that for like 6 or 7 months. I just wasn't getting any followers, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. Like, what am I doing, you know? And it's just like, just to know that sometimes that's going to happen. Sometimes you're going to hit these walls, and that's okay. You know, I don't know. It's just like, as long as you have this community that, you know, you can continuously go and hang out with, and, you know, you're getting something from it. It doesn't matter how many followers it doesn't matter how many followers you have. It doesn't matter the subs. It doesn't matter, you know, it just matters, you know, what you're getting from it.
Yeah.
So
how do you, or I guess, what advice would you have for when you get demotivated, like I that's something that I've been trying to figure out lately, is like, if you're like let's say your viewers either drop or they, you know, kind of stick around, they're not growing, or, you know, like you said, followers or subs, like when things like that drop, or when they seem like they're going backwards or not moving forwards, like what works best for you to remind yourself not to get so discouraged about it?
Just to look back at like what you have accomplished, I think is really important. Not even just with Twitch, but just in life, like the things you've accomplished, and know that like you are worthy of accomplishing things, and are worthy of reaching success. And just, yeah, reminding yourself that it's not always going to be rainbows and butterflies, you know, every second, you know. And also just humbling yourself, I think, too, and just looking at your peers. Like it's crazy, like so many people are doing amazing things in my streaming friend peer group, and I love to watch it, and that helps motivate me to continue going forward. And yeah, it just, I feel really good about where they're at, and I'm just like, okay, like I can keep going, you know, like I'm motivated and inspired by them. So that really helps too.
Yeah, I think it can be hard on top of life too. Like I feel like when it feels like things aren't working out in life, and then they don't like feel like they're working out in stream, it's just everything that seems like a loss feels so much bigger, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I keep looking at the portrait behind you. I really like it a lot. The Steph, yeah. Sorry.
I know, I always feel like really, like, is it so bad that I have this like huge like 20 by 30 photo
honestly,
of this character I
absolutely
in my
would
room
if I were you. So
display? Like it's literally right when you walk in, anybody comes in here and they're like, okay, Katie, like calm down, you know? And it's like, I'm sorry. It was given to me and it's beautiful, you know? So I love it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's really well done too. So
yeah,
I would absolutely hang it up. I'd put it like at the center of where it's the first thing you see when you walk in.
Yeah,
so
seriously, it's amazing. I love it. So yeah. Oh man. Oh wow, it is. I didn't realize how late it was.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I don't want to keep you here too long.
No, I
either.
didn't realize we've been talking for this long. What? Dude, we've just been like jamming out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, honestly, my favorite part about it is just like getting to go into side tangents too, because I feel like that's just, I don't know, just hanging out and like seeing what happens too. Like,
no, it's good. It's relaxing. Like I honestly, like, it's probably because I know you too, like personally, but it's just been like super relaxed, and like it doesn't feel like this, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, cool. I'm just sitting here like chatting, you know, and it's cool. I did not realize it was so late. Oh man, I have to make babies soon on Sims. On Sims, not real. I always have to say on Sims.
Yeah, just the clarification. I'm not trying to spawn tiny humans in real life.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I haven't made 26 babies. It's a lot, but yeah, baby making Sims. Oh man, but this has been fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out. I mean, when I created my list, because I wanted to give the podcast some structure, right? So I have some things that I always want to hit, and
like,
so I had my main list, right? And we went through the whole main list with and it filled up a lot of time just because, you know, we had side conversation, which was fantastic. In the case, I created like 2 extra lists of questions in the case that it didn't go in side tangents, you know? So like I've got like my main questions, and then I've got like general questions, like top questions, and then other questions.
Highly prepared. I love it.
It's one of those, like, I wanted it to be relaxed so we can talk about whatever, but in the case that everything speeds through, I didn't want to have nothing to talk about. But I feel like it's been a lot of really good discussion, and like I just really appreciate getting to hear from you and like learn more about you and your perspective on things. And I'm infinitely grateful that you were willing to come and hang out with me.
Oh, like literally, I was like, yes, I want to be. I was stoked. I think it's awesome. I think, like, I mean, this is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be doing and creating our own content, and that's amazing. And I hope that this fills your void, not in a sexual. Anyways, that sounds weird, but you know what I mean. You were saying like, you know, you're itching to do creative stuff. This got weird, but that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
No, I got you.
Like,
I got you.
hope that this makes you feel like you're being creative and fulfilling that need, because yeah, it's really good that you're doing this. Are you gonna be doing it every week?
Yeah, so I've got I do it pretty much every Tuesday is my podcast. So
Yay.
next week I have Calvin, actually. He agreed to do it, and then the following week is Skylar. So I'm very, very fortunate that people are, you know, willing to and excited to do this. So I'll
that makes me so happy.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep reaching out to people, but I, you know, wanted to start on a strong note with someone who's really cool. So I'm really, really thankful that you were able to be here as the first streamer.
I'm so honored that you wanted me to be your first.
Yeah,
one.
I mean, you're the first official guest, so.
Thanks. Well, I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun, and yeah, I hope the rest of them go so well for you.
Thank you.
That's exciting that you're gonna have Calvin and Skylar on.
Yeah, I'm
Two
excited.
Amazing people.
I was gonna say I don't know Calvin very well, and I've always wanted to get to know him, so I'm really excited for that. And then Skylar was messaging me. That's why I tweeted about him the other day, because he was like, "I'm so excited! I'm so excited to talk about like everything." And like I was really worried about it because, you know, it's starting something new. It could do well. It could fail horribly. And so he was just like, he was so hyped about it, and I was like,
he is just like the biggest hype guy.
Oh
like,
my gosh, yes.
If he sees like skill, like talent, or like sees you going somewhere, sees something amazing happening for you, like he's there for it and he's ready to hype you up. And I'm sure you guys are gonna have wonderful conversations. I love Skylar.
Probably one of the most positive people that I've ever
like,
seen.
Literally, I like will post something on my Insta story and he'll be like, "Get it, boo!" And I'm like, Skylar.
I know, like I'll post a picture and he's like, "Yes, I'm here for this," and I'm like,
"Yes,
thank you."
I'm just like, "I'm here for you, Skylar." Damn. Yeah, he's sweet. He's sweet. Oh, cool. Do you keep streaming after this, or do you?
I'll probably take a bathroom break and hang out for a little bit longer.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, this is great. I'm excited to see where this goes for you. Are you gonna be putting these on YouTube?
Yeah. So I always record the VOD on my computer separate from like Twitch, so I don't have to go and download it. But then I'll go format and I'll make a little playlist on my YouTube channel of all the ones.
Nice.
So
there you go. You're creating content. You're doing it. You're learning about people. You are doing a thing. That's the most important thing. Because like, what if you like want to apply for something and they're like, "Hey, we need like a host," and you'll be like, "Wow, hello.
Here's a playlist.
I have my own show that I host, you know, on Twitch," and then people would be like, "Oh, okay." Seriously, you're doing a great thing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That means so much to me. I'm gonna cry. But thank you so much. I have so much respect for you, and I just appreciate the opportunity that you provided me with in inviting me to Mishmash, because I think that was it was a really important thing in streaming for me, and being able to expand my network and meet people, and I don't know, I guess also it helped a lot with my confidence as a streamer, you know, and trusting myself, you know. So I'm infinitely grateful for what you did and the opportunity that you provided me with. So, you know, having you on as the first guest is the absolute least that I could do. So
well, I'm thanks for letting me know that. You're a pro pew pew streamer now. Look at you. Look at you. Look at your setup. Look at your lights. Literally, I told you this before we started streaming, but when I got that light in my back, like on my neon sign, I was like, I'm like Aya now. I'm a pro streamer. Like, so you're doing things. You're doing things. But yeah, cool. Well, thank you again, and thank you, community chat.
Yeah, thank you everyone who hung out. I'm very thankful to all of you as well for being here and hanging out. I mean, streams aren't what they are without the community and everybody hanging out and being a part of it. So I appreciate you. Katie, if you have any last things or anything you want to promo, go ahead.
If people are here for my stream, make sure you follow Aya. Make sure you follow her, please, because she deserves it. She's killing it and she's doing things. Show her all the love.
I appreciate it. Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna put up your little promo screen again and then just say goodbye to you, but I'll do that off the stream. So say bye to everybody.
Okay, bye guys. Thank you so much for letting me hang out with you all.
Great. Hold on, I gotta figure out what buttons I'm pressing.